Now, of course, it kind of pisses me off to hear that because I'm like, what are we doing? What are we saying? He needs a hug? No, he doesn't need a hug. He needs a good whooping is what he needs. I think
that
you're an idiot, dude. Why?
You know what's great about this is that my complaint is about people threatening violence. There's lots of threats of violence against me and my family. And your response is to tell your audience that what I need is to get punched in the face. This guy is this is the new iDubbbz's?
Yeah.
This is the new iDubbbz? What? It's just like so disappointing. I don't even know what to say.
Let's get started on the stream. I don't know if I should start at Hassan Copium Bomb. I believe this is related. Do you want to jump immediately to reviewing the video? Because we've got a long road ahead of us tonight. Maybe we'll just start at the Hassan stuff. This is where we're going to get going from. Now skip to the main segment. Ethan Klein has responded to the full allegations levied against him by iDubbbz's. We've watched the whole thing on the channel. By this point, every segment's been posted. The pre-section went up today. Yesterday was Ethan's initial response when they jumped him. One of the things that is still burning in my skull before we get started, hashtag justice for Lena. Keep pushing that on social media. I'll probably put up another tweet later tonight. Hashtag justice for Lena. She got in the worst end of the deal here. iDubbbz's tried to convince Lena and AB that it was accidental that the video was dropped while Ethan was live. I don't think any of us believe that. And if that is the case, the little bait like, oh, hey, I know you're in the bathroom panicking right now because your employer and your boxing promoter for the event you're supposed to be fighting in are currently having a war on your stream live. Didn't really mean to f you over quite like that. I don't think anybody's buying it. I think it's some of the most pathetic, cowardly bullshit I've ever seen in my life. So Lena and AB absolutely got the worst end of this betrayal and backstab, which is a lot because Ethan and Hila definitely got backstabbed pretty fucking hard. So yeah, started Hassan Copium Bomb. All right, let's take a look from there.
Something to you, Nick. I also want to give a shout out too.
Oh, and last thing. So on the day Creator Clash 3 was announced, I remember this. KSI simultaneously announced his next fight, overshadowing the announcement for Creator Clash 3. Now, it has been announced that Jake Paul will be also fighting in that week in June on the day of Creator Clash 3. So, Jake Paul is splitting the pay-per-views, fighting a legitimate boxer on the night of Ian and Anissa's charity boxing event. That event is seismically fucked. It is fucking over. That is one of the craziest things I've ever heard, is that Jake Paul put up his boxing event on a day they knew a competing promotion was launching theirs. Dude, that's not going to affect the IRL shit, which was probably already fucked because they booked out the Tampa Bay Lightning Stadium again. It probably the pay-per-views, which is so fucking bad for them, dude. It is so fucking bad. Anyway, thank you so much. Let's get started.
Mike from PA, who I've watched the video now, and his exclusion from the video is just so fucking delightful.
Dude, and Mike from PA is such a loser. It is so funny. He's been coping about this on social media that he wasn't invited. Well, it's because they had women over the house. And
what's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter.
I mean, unfortunately for Mike, I don't know if he's got such a great track record with Bad Bunny.
Hassan, Destiny. Ethan, Hassan, Destiny. I say as they drag me into a padded
Add
cell.
Bo Blacks and iDubbbz's and Alex.
Tweet.
This guy wants to be part of the team so bad. He's not in the video. He goes, keeping quiet about this was so painful. Yeah, I'm sure it was, Maiko. Here's the thing that's even funnier after watching the video. Not everybody who participated in it was there physically. Several people sent in video clips, which means he was explicitly excluded from this video. But I don't know how that makes you feel, Mike.
Like, dude, Sean DeBlack is like actually nobody. Like actually like less than nobody in this drama. Sean and Ethan have had like one interaction back and forth. He's not even like a significant figure in this story, and he's there. But Mike from PA has been like 7 segments on Ethan's channel. If you wanted somebody who was more relevant, Nick, his name is Sean. What the hell, man? It's just like you would expect that Mike from PA would have been there.
But I have a feeling there's going to be some chairs getting punched here later today. If they're not being punched right now.
Nicholas, the GOAT.
We have to keep our chairs safe, guys. It's just not right. So Mike from PA, I give a salute to you, my friend, I don't think anybody likes this guy. I just don't think anybody.
It's funny because this kind of proves that like not only does the most like of the internet hate Mike from PA, it paints this picture that he's like the last guy in his own camp, right? Like kind of like the one guy that kind of stays around and hover hands over the rest of the friend group. He's like the lowest common denominator in one of the most widely hated communities ever.
What he does, which is great. He is just actually just a despicable human being. And Hassan drops a tactical copium bomb. Now, as you guys know, Hassan has famously rejected the idea of needing to or caring about watching my video. Every time it's about he needs somebody to hold his hand through the process. Someone like Bad Empanado, who's a liar and a anti-Semite. Or Noah Sampson, who is, about to get sued for defamation. He's supposed to respond in 2 days. I think he thinks I'm kidding. We'll see. He has 2 days to respond. After that, it doesn't really matter what he says in terms of like retractions. That once it's closed, it's game time, baby. So Noah has 2 days. We'll see about that.
So that's going to be tomorrow, Sunday. We'll find out Sunday if Noah's getting sued. So we should have some updates in terms of like legal documents to check next week.
Forward to it. But here is Hassan. So his criticism of my immediately reacting to it is interesting. Listen to this.
Well, you actually just described that you do see his tweets, and some you agree, and a couple you do.
Right, he actually...
C-word, so...
That's a good point, Eli.
This fucking guy always eating. Like, just separately, like, I feel like he's always eating.
No, whenever he reacts to something, it's lunchtime. Like, you ever watch the Daily Dose of Internet Clips, I think is one of them, or it was back before Internet Historian was branded like a neo-Nazi that you can't watch on video anymore. When they would watch like the videos that he was putting out, it would be like big sandwich moment where he'd sit there slurping down his meal while the video plays in the background. They're eating because they do 8-hour streams.
I would like to say that Jake Paul is Parja, Zionist. So no need to thank the secret cabal, but you certainly can.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
That's a good one too. Fucking iDubbbz's is so crazy because he sat here for years trying to rehabilitate his image, right? He rehabilitated his whole
Nicholas,
image.
the GOAT.
He rehabilitates his whole image and tries to prove to everyone he's not racist. And the first thing he does when he's out and about and socializing with his community is side with anti-Semites. Literally blew 5 years of rehabilitation. It's actually insane how that worked out.
He's just always like leaning over and slurping up like his mommy's chicken.
I feel that way about you, dude.
I'm always eating.
You eat on the show
Skinny
a lot.
legend, bro. Not that he's fat.
What do you have next to you?
Every clip he's eating.
You've been eating.
Every clip I see of him lately, he's eating.
There's eggs on your desk.
Am I eating them now? Am I doing like this every time? Every time I play a video, by the way. Let's talk about fair use. Every time I play a video, this is me silently going. Anyway, he does that for about a minute here. Claim that she was
interacting with
Hassan, by the way, a prolific content thief.
With it at some point. But Eli's point is even better. He literally just said that he's seen these tweets.
Lovely, Dan.
He
beautiful.
just said so himself. So.
And that he even agreed with some of them, but he didn't like them to not stir the pot or whatever. So
the hardest part about listening to Hassan Piker is the fact that he never talks in his own clips.
what can you do?
He has to pause it 2 seconds to think, 2 more seconds to start a sentence. Then there's a massive pause in between the things he actually says. Yeah, and I know.
And do you know what else is massive?
Got it!
That's weird, man. It sounds like it's repeat.
It is, yeah. Well, so the reason what I saw was him.
Yeah, I think the goal here is to
denims in chat
basically watch this in 3.5 second increments in an effort to say that he watched the whole thing.
Dude, that's crazy. So then the initial criticism was Ethan is watching this in small increments, saying he's watched the whole thing. That's what's responding is. Pausing the video and talking over it. That's what a response is. Oh, he's not talking about it. Oh, he's talking about it too much, dude. How? How are these people so fucking pathetic?
What it is.
But basically to showcase to his audience, like, oh, I watched the whole thing. It was all a bunch of nonsense.
Have you ever seen such catastrophic coping in your life? This man, in response to me not being a coward like he is, and immediately putting it on and cold reacting to it live, brave and heroic, He goes,
it's like you're not just letting Ian play all these clips wildly out of context. You're pausing to tell people what was actually happening in those moments. What a piece of shit, dude. You're not letting the narrative form properly.
Nicholas, the goat. I appreciate that.
no,
Ian
actually,
debilitating in Hassan's bosom.
it's cowardly that Ethan watched it because he pauses it too much.
I'm at a loss for words.
So my reaction is valid, but only if I pause it the exact right amount. Hassan, this may be a foreign concept to you, but it's called commentary. It's called fair use. It's called transformative use.
That's another thing. I love hearing when Twitch streamers say you're reacting too much, or, oh, you need to stop pausing. It's like, bro, you're used to watching complete garbage. Unfortunately, we're here to give our opinion. You can click the video on their channel if you want to watch that instead.
I'm expressing my thoughts thoroughly to every frame of this video, and I would encourage you to do the same. And I won't judge
the goat.
you based on how much you pause. You know, I just like to see your reaction. You know, I'd like to see your response to the video and not just cherry-picked moments of it. As Bad Empanada, hold your hand, and that would be nice. But in the meantime, I think anybody, including his fans, can look at this and roll their eyes at just how, you know, plainly cowardice he's displaying here. It's just unreal.
But they can't, because all these people want you to look bad. They're not actively seeking the truth. That's why it's so difficult to argue with these people, because they're trying to fit the narrative into like this little box and present it publicly. And if you criticize that in any such way or whatever, well, that's fine. You're pro-genocide.
Real. So that's Hassan, my friend. I look forward.
Oh, wow. You didn't agree with every little bit of this Ethan Klein exposed video? That's because you want dead babies in Palestinian territories.
To you watching my video. Somehow watching the video is cowardly. Like, dude, the guy is creating world building in his mind. It's amazing.
I've finally done it. I watched Ethan Klein's content nuke.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But then it was just like a nightmare, I guess, in the video. Yeah. Frogan, by the way, the night of the content nuked dropped, was on her stream crying. And I'm just flabbergasted by this, which, like, again, I've accused her and all of them of being cry-bullies. The thing is that I'm always only ever responding to these people. And of course,
I saw so much Frogan shit today where people are like defending Frogan, saying she's the one hijabi streamer. And it's just like, is there no other one? I mean, you could take off her Islamic fucking headdress or whatever, right? And she's still an insufferable white bitch. If you take off her hat, she's still insufferable. Her takes are still terrible, right? Like, she's just an insufferable piece of shit without the headdress. Who cares? It's not a racial thing, all right? She just comes out, makes horrible fucking takes. You astroturfed her. She has no talent in her body. She became a fucking 60-viewer streamer because of you. Otherwise, she would be streaming to 2 people who'd be her friends and family, or someone who feels bad from her job that she doesn't have to have because you astroturfed her, all right? She doesn't belong here.
Won't let me send the super chats I want to send, but have the $20 anyway.
Thank you. It's just like, she doesn't belong here. She's not entertaining enough to be here. So obviously when she speaks up and says something, people are going to say something about it because, like, she's not entertaining. She's not intelligent. It's the expected result.
Frogan being the genesis for most of this whole thing.
If you don't want your friend to get hate, you should tell her to shut the fuck up and keep her mouth shut.
Quietly unfollowed her on Twitter after her hate.
Who astroturfed her? Who do you think, dude? She's the fucking 2-time Rising Star nominee, bro.
Nicholas,
she's
goat.
plastered all. She's the face of Twitch.tv. How? How is this happening?
This tweet defending Hamas terrorists on October 7th. And she lost her mind about it, and it became a story because she was so vocal about it. But now she's ever the crybaby. Now, Frogan, you did not have to be in this video, right? But here's her response that evening.
What's the name of the guy?
After joining the dog pile.
They're not just being in the video. Like, she was like dancing and doing the L and like flipping you off.
Bro, you did a Fortnite L on me. Yeah, you flipped me off, girl. You did that. Nobody made you go into Hassan's office and do a Fortnite dance, okay? Nobody made you do that. This is your music. This is actually your music.
You could actually take some stupid Frogan tweet from the very beginning and rationalize the rest of this entire controversy. Like, Frogan, in her infinite wisdom, is probably the catalyst for this entire thing, right? Because she was making tweets that were insane on around October 7th, talking about the attacks, and then Ethan quietly unfollowed her from Twitter. And then in response, everything you're seeing now can be directly traced back to Frogan having a fucking meltdown about it. Every single thing that's happened, because Ethan wanted to like privately cut ties with her, and she had like a public facing meltdown about it. And like, that's like the little mosquito getting stepped on, and then the big like the big boulder crushing the city or whatever is like iDubbbz's backstabbing Ethan Klein.
Okay, if iDubbbz's video had a soundtrack, it would be that. Go ahead, Zach. This is the soundtrack.
Creator Clash 3 is headlined by a Zionist who's friends with Sam Hyde, but Ian, Anissa, and Frogan don't seem to care. Dude, you know what the other thing is? Their whole policy on this is like, don't say anything or whatever if you disagree with us. That's what we would prefer. And Harley is on Twitter making comments about the content cop, and you just have to wonder, is he so big they can't do anything about him? Like, they can't kick Harley off the podcast. He's the headliner. I thought that was a joke at first, and Harley didn't like that, but he kind of understood where I was coming from. As iDubbbz or Anissa aren't fighting on their own boxing card. But you've got, like, is it a bad look that Harley's talking shit about you 2 months before your event because you guys needed to drop this backstab piece? I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, dude. There's a lot riding on this.
Kind of hits all slow down like that.
I see them dancing, and I'm still flabbergasted by this video. Anywho, here's Frogan from the night that they dropped.
Like, is iDubbbz gonna invite Bad Empanada to take pictures on the red carpet? Like, how much charity money would it take to fly him out of whatever third world country he's living in?
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, it's very hard to look at, karma will make its way. To me, it's very hard to look at it that way.
How much kids with cancer money would it take to get Bad Empanada out to the red carpet, guys? Can we calculate that?
I had that point of view. You know what I mean? It's like, you see the shittiest fucking people at the top.
By the way, who's #1 streamer on Twitch right now? Political streamer?
Asmongold.
Okay.
Not every day.
No, but like, Hassan is at the top, right?
He's definitely at the top. He's at the top. He is at the top. You know what I mean?
Bro, we're on Asmongold kick right now because this guy keeps putting me in clips on his channel. I got IRL normie people who don't follow anything I do being like, I was watching the new Asmongold clip and I noticed that you're in it.
It's like, you see the shittiest fucking people at the top. I don't know if I believe in karma. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
listen, if you don't, you should. You're a living example of it in action.
I don't understand, how is she crying?
Well, she didn't even start the tears yet.
if I had to lose my career over this bullshit,
Why are you talking about
lose your career? This is like the craziest thing I've ever heard. What career? What do you stream to like 500 people on nights that like Hassan is about to go live? And then when nothing's going on, you're like a fucking 80 view. Like, what fucking career? How?
losing your career? You literally chose to be in this video to dogpile and like just to participate.
Yeah, and this is like this is the most cry-bully thing I've ever seen in like all the time I've been on YouTube. Is you go in the aggressor video that your community is currently eating up and supporting, where like things are good on your end, right? And then you cry and say my career is in jeopardy for a decision that you willingly made.
Lose my career over this bullshit.
Why are you talking?
Like, I just wish you had a career because it would be so much better to watch it get taken from you.
Thank you for
like, don't you wish she was more successful so the fall off would be bigger?
About losing your career. You literally chose to be in this video to dogpile and like just to participate in this shit show.
Like, I want to do Operation False Hope. You ever watch those old Keemstar Stream.me streams? Like, where we convince Frogan that we're like a sizable portion of her audience and then one day just completely pull out. Like, that'd be extremely funny. And she's small enough that we could probably do it.
Oh, did you not? Like, what do you think? What are you thinking? How are you going to sit there and cry? It's just mind-bending. This girl is perpetually the victim after starting this entire thing.
I can say...
You're not just choosing to be in a video, you're
like, we just sleeper cell into the audience and then one day pull support immediately and you watch her chat like dwindle to nothing. I think that'd be hilarious. And you could do it because, like I said, she literally does not have a career in content creation. I don't know how she's even paying the bills that she's paying. It must be some deal she has with Twitch. She is not a successful enough streamer to be full-time.
In a content cop of a friend betraying a friend,
Yeah,
right?
it's like
a very...
You're participating in
She
like,
must have the most aggressive Oilers I've ever seen.
participation.
it's not like a casual cameo. You're in like
You're not just like calling into Morgan Pierce to talk about something.
And by the way, Denims is just traditionally attractive. She is no better.
Nicholas,
That's why you'll see a
the
viewer
goat.
difference
Thank
between
you for the
Denims and
$5,
Frogan,
my
but they
man.
are both as intelligent as one another. And they talk about politics, dude. If I was fucking stupid, all right, I wouldn't sit around being like as politics being my bread and butter. I would try to find some niche where it wouldn't be so obvious that I'm extremely dumb.
example, I did a cameo in the Leafy content cop. That meant something more than just like, oh, Ethan's here for do a cameo. Like, let's not be silly about this. We know what you're doing there, okay? And so, is karma real? I don't know. Let's see how you feel about it.
I was consistent in my views, and I have been consistently against genocide.
Consistently low, dude. Your views were consistently low.
And it consistently uplifted the Palestinian people.
Was that a part of the content cop?
This? No, this is... Wait.
Others can't say that, but I can.
Did content cop uplift the Palestinian people? Is my question.
I don't even think he barely even mentioned the conflict. I don't think he raised money. He did a charity. He basically achieved literally nothing.
Dude, could you imagine this year if like the fucking Gaza Palestine stuff was one of the bigger charities for Creator Clash? It's just like instead like we forego. I don't think that's the case, but that would be so fucking funny if it was.
For the people in Gaza that apparently are the ones...
I think the charities are already out, unless there's something we don't know.
He's helping allegedly by doing this. It's really something how...
Creator Clash 3 brought to you by Hamas.
Everybody's activism these days is just shitting on me. Okay. Every time someone hates on me, a fucking PETA falls from the sky in Gaza or something. Apparently, like that's what they act like. You know what I mean?
Dude, we're just one more bad empanada video away from those kids having a place to sleep tonight. If we watch one more bad empanada video on stream, okay, to tell the masses what's going on over there, dude, every family will be fed. It'll be so back, dude. What do you mean I can't go to Gaza? What are you talking about?
No way, no!
Yo, thank you for the 150 shekels, dude!
Same for
It's
Frogan.
annoying that Zionist, a term from the 1940s, is now used as a dog whistle removed from its og meaning.
Dude,
we should do the same thing for Turks.
We literally...
So we can annoy Hassan. Maybe use young Turk as a dog whistle for an annoying fake liberal Turk.
I'm just saying, like, we lose another word every year. Every major controversy takes another word from the English language, dude. It's so over.
No.
And I feel like such a bitch for crying, but it just like...
You are, just to be clear. You absolutely are. And it's very funny. I'm actually glad she's crying.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the...
I didn't want to say that.
You sit and reflect, and it's just like, what the fuck, dude? There are some days I just sit and I'm just like, I'm just like, I'm like, what did I do to deserve this?
Well, let's say, first of all, participating...
You probably incited this entire situation, if I'm being real. Like, if I'm really being honest, you probably incited the bulk of this conflict.
And a fucking treacherous video that's essentially, Brutus stabbing...
Like, if Frogan just shut her mouth, the leftovers would probably still be on. I don't know. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe things would have taken their natural, like... Over time, it would have spread, and it would have been... But Frogan really did kickstart all of this.
Caesar at the Senate floor. Of course, me being Caesar. Yeah. He's iDubbbz's Brutus. And then Frogan is like one of the extras.
Senator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Who fucking who?
We knew who held the power. That's why they killed him. It was me, baby.
I had no pity.
Yeah, she goes, what did I do to deserve this? Literally everything in this entire exchange?
Just like a few hours before the video that came out that you're in it.
How can you be... Anyway, my goal is not to totally dunk on Frogan. Unfortunately for her, she just makes it so damn easy. But like, I'm not... Obviously, she's not the main villain in this story by any means. Right. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I hope you get PTSD.
I hope that you have a great life and...
Oh, I was pointing this out. So, you know, like the whole Frogan PTSD thing. A lot of people were getting like their panties in a twist because Ethan was talking about the America Deserves 9/11 clip. And they sit here and they go, and it's true, right? Ian kind of explained it as Hassan. Hold on. Okay. let me reword that. It's true that what Ian was saying is what quote unquote Hassan actually meant or whatever. You know, the whole American foreign policy decisions, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it a million times as justification for why he said it. I just want to point out that this is just not accurate. If you go look at the situation, how it actually was portrayed, they never play the rest of the clip or the other associated clips that were happening. So he went on Young Turks and said like, oh, when I said America deserves 9/11, it was supposed to be a nuanced conversation about how foreign policy decisions that America, like this is what he said at the time. The reality of the situation is Hassan Piker was just rage baiting on stream. Like he was infuriated watching Dan Crenshaw, Republican or whatever, I'm pretty sure, former veteran. If you watch more of the clip, it's not just America deserves 9/11. It's that this veteran deserves to get eye-raped by the Mujahideen.
I can't do this. I can't do this. This guy has the understanding of foreign policy of like a 12-year-old. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with this dude? Didn't he go to war and like literally lose his eye because some Mujahideen, a brave fucking soldier, fucked his eye hole with their dick? Isn't that how he lost his fucking dumbass eye?
So this was not like a nuanced conversation. This was him spurging out at Joe Rogan. I hate when this constantly gets fucking the spin that iDubbbz puts on it. Like he's this fucking intellectually sound, intelligent, political voice in the community. This guy's fantasizing about a veteran getting raped in the eye socket by a Mujahideen soldier.
Because he got his fucking eye hole fucked?
He's just mad in this clip. That's why he said the other thing too. That he's just angry and he's lashing out, and he made like a fucking comment that has followed him for the rest of his career. So like, I feel like people remove all the context and just talk about his response that he made on the Cenk Uygur stream. And I don't think that's accurate for what's actually happening there.
Find a really nice job, one day. Or at least,
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Okay. We got that.
By the way, anytime someone's like, what did we do to deserve this? I'm just like,
Yes.
Well, there was this part. I can't get over his inclusion. Like,
and by the way,
I don't even know why you're in this video.
I think he made a comment about rape review one time. I feel like you don't really have the position to say that. I think that people can get mad about it, and if the ultimate rape review meme of me making fun of like Minecraft YouTuber sex scandals because all these people are deranged freaks or whatever, that kind of becoming a thing, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to like it. But I think once you go on stream talking about like how you're fantasizing about a fucking U.S. Army veteran getting raped in the eye socket by a terrorist, I feel like you kind of lose your... I feel like you can't really grandstand about rape anymore.
Bro, who are you? Like, I know your name's Sean DeBlack, okay? I've said it before. I've seen you before, but like, I've never talked about you, man. At least...
Oh, rape jokes are off the table, guys. There's no Army veterans to fantasize about.
It's like...
He's only...
I mentioned him like in one...
in the content.
Yeah, so I included him in the content because he said he wanted someone to kill Destiny.
Right.
So, which was,
Is that enough to be in this content?
Not at all. You brought him up one more time. It was I think he was the one playing that Hassan doesn't react to his videos or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was true. That was a great clip.
That's true.
He started accusing Hassan of being racist for platforming.
But that wasn't
Wait, you're saying Sean DeBlack, the guy whose only fucking conversations on stream are about like racism in the political landscape, accuse somebody of being racist? The guy whose like only contribution to any discussion is the angle of race and how it's the most important issue? You're saying that he actually made this about race?
Criticism of him.
Yeah, but that's not really, that's more criticism of Hassan.
Well, at any rate.
Dude, that guy's cards, like that guy's card has like... like when you pull out your credit card too much, the corners start to get bent up and shit? Dude, that guy's race card, the edges of it are fucking white.
Listen, okay, maybe he thinks that there's a beef between us. I don't really know anything about him. I've barely talked about him. So, okay, listen, maybe
it's like worn down.
One-sided beef, that's fine. We love those. Welcome to the game. Welcome to the arena.
That happens with the Ridge wallets, dude. He keeps putting his race card in the Ridge wallet and the corners are starting to get a little fucked up.
iDubbbz's, now this is very interesting to me. It was only a mere, I don't know how long ago exactly, but it wasn't very long ago at all that iDubbbz's put forth his new thesis on the world, one of empathy and humanistic values. Here he is talking about it.
I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and
We watched this last stream. It's like, hey guys, content cops, those are malicious and they cause audiences to harass people. And I even like they don't deserve this, and I wouldn't inflict this on somebody.
Really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it.
Oh my God.
The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people
Sorry, I'm really bad at
for very lackluster reasons, and you know, obviously didn't have any accountability online whatsoever on my end. I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I'm any better than any of these people that I was making content cop videos on, and I'm not. I'm a human. I'm a real human who makes mistakes, and you know, I make a different set of mistakes than the people I was making videos on, but it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also
It's just so crazy, dude. So my target's my former friend of 10 years, Ethan Klein. And dude, they're going back and people are arguing that like, well, we don't understand the nature of their relationship, right? Has anybody got the Anissa tweet kicked up? Can we show this? Dude, they're like, oh, well, you know, it's like you and Flamenco, Nick. People thought you and Flamenco were really good friends. Who knows, right? We never really know how bad things actually are, right? Let me see. Do we have... I think it's on Yeet. Not that one. Let me look for it while it keeps going.
Indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave, and it's not. It's super irresponsible and shitty.
Now, what's funny about that is like that wasn't that long ago. You know what I mean? Like that was maybe a couple months ago. And he goes, so there's something uniquely evil about me, right? That wasn't present in any of the other people he made content cops about. All the numerous, you know, shitty behavior and people he talked about, I'm uniquely evil. I am uniquely evil to the point where he's going to do a 180 on his newfound moral principles. Nobody deserves this, he says, unless you're a Zionist.
Here it is. Here it is. This is so fucking funny, dude. Like, there's so many tweets of this where Anissa is just on social media saying, like, thank you so much for all the love, Ethan. I appreciate you and Hila so much. We'll always look up to you, too. And this is, like, 2 years ago. Like, this is post-2022. I'm blocked, so I can't just go to her account and look. Let me see about the, I think he posted a couple of these. Where is this? My partner went from not wanting to collab with anyone, rarely ever, to doing the biggest YouTube collaborations of all time. Crazy the growth I've seen in 7 years we've been together. I worded the end poorly because of the travel. It was hard for them to collab anymore. Oh, this is... Oh, no, this is... Oh, here it is. Occasionally Ethan, because he was only interested in collabing with it, was a close friend. So, like, Anissa is literally on Twitter February of 2023 talking about how they were close friends. And then in the content cop, Ian's like... Me and my wife liked your content. So, dude, we were just friendly, you know? We weren't close personal friends like I've tweeted on Twitter, or my wife has tweeted on Twitter several times. Like, it's just such snaky bullshit, trying to reevaluate the terms of the friendship or whatever after you're fighting with them.
I don't think anyone deserves
a light to decent friend on the Anthony Fantano grading scale.
Level of cruelty or hate.
Nobody. I didn't hear an asterisk, buddy.
Close acquaintance, dude. Yeah, when it's convenient, they're a close acquaintance.
Shitty.
You know, it's like if you're going to make such a grand statement, you can't do a 180 on it next month. Like, you got to at least try to live up to your values for like at least 30 days, man.
And they did talk about it on their podcast.
Is this from a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, there's one.
This is the one he went on like his apology. I'm not edgy anymore.
Okay, so I have one that's newer. What, Hila?
I was just gonna say they did talk about it on their podcast, so I thought you know that was what they have to say, and we're all moving on.
Well, so that's what I'm pulling up now. This one was actually very recent.
He did make a choice
Ethan's,
to like. No, I'm gonna throw out everything I said before.
Is this the clip for the podcast?
Go and do a content.
He's like, actually, I'm gonna fall back to my exact same ways.
Yeah.
That I.
This is gonna be the clip from the podcast. Dan, did you watch my fucking stream last week? I'm watching the same shit again.
Day people are going to tune in, I promise.
This is the same order I played them in.
You know, the problem with this show might be that it's just not good. Have they considered that?
This is the same clip from today's video, the one that just went up the other day, right? They're going to play it? Let me see. Yeah, this is the clip.
Ethan's upset with, I think, some of our connections, and you know, we've tried to reach out to Ethan to talk privately. Basically, it just seems like we're at a bit of an impasse. So We want to
They're gonna play the part where that I just showed you earlier in the stream.
stay out of the drama as much as possible.
This dumb liar bitch was simultaneously planning to make a content cop while playing nice, presumably.
So he thinks it was simultaneous, like the production had already started. Interesting. I don't have that position.
Trying to play nice and act like he's above it all. You know, what a disingenuous loser. And he tries to continually say like, oh, how did he know this about me? And I'm like, bro, you're literally proving everything I thought about you was correct.
I don't want to pile on and add to anything.
Oh, that's so nice. They didn't want to pile on and add to anything. Okay, buddy. Appreciate that. A lot has changed since then. Now,
oh no, he doesn't have the other clip.
At this point, I think it's time we just start watching. I need to thank our sponsor. And from this point onward,
I have a small update before we thank our sponsor.
Go ahead.
Completely irrelevant to the discussion today, but
anyway, I hope that's true. I've always like there is some of that.
No, he's a comedic
but
genius.
he is very fucking fun. Now I have here a list of things that iDubbbz left out of the video that I think are important. I'm, however, going to hold off on going over this. Let's just watch the video, and as it happens, I'll pull these up. So let's go ahead. Excuse me. And start where we left off at minute 17. Let me just pull it up here.
Yeah, dude, Ethan Klein is one of my many alt accounts. That's what I get for using a Wiggler. Sniff, sniff.
iDubbbz's content cop.
Dude, sniffer, dude. It's me. It is I, Ethan Klein.
We have that whole doc of links, but the video itself isn't linked in there.
I can't find the video. I know I timestamped it last night, but I just can't find the damn thing. So anyway, here it is. Yeah, pretty funny. Pretty funny business. So here we are.
Stay out of the drama as much as possible. You don't want to pile on and add to anything.
Sounds like a good idea.
That was just a couple of weeks ago, really. When was that? I don't know.
3 weeks ago? How long was it?
Yeah, it was really. So it's a very big omission.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck.
Your associates and your now collaborators supporting, encouraging people to literally call CPS to come take my children.
So opening point number one, he glaringly omits the reason why Ethan is mad in about 80% of the things that he shows in the video, right? He dances around it. If your audience is if you're Ian's audience and you haven't watched any of this shit and you're clicking on it for the first time, you're missing a massive detail, dude. A massive, massive detail.
And you know what else is massive?
It is certainly not explained well in the video as to why he's mad.
Why?
Which also, can we now say, because last night we did make sure we finished the video and watched everything, there was not even one mention of CPS in the whole video.
He didn't find that to be relevant. He skirted next to it. He kind of skirted past it, but he never bothered to explain. And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
So
yeah, it's played with other clips. And used to show guys, they're unhinged without showing the reason why literally anyone in that position would be fired up. Yeah.
Without even explaining that at least that's the...
Maybe it's because Ian and Anissa are childless in their mid to late 30s, right? How old are they? Maybe it's they don't see why people would be upset about child protective services getting called on their kid. They don't have they haven't developed empathy for a child yet, as they are still childless at this point, right?
Context is pretty cowardly.
Or it could be malice.
I'm shocked. Yeah.
This whole video has left me utterly shocked, frankly. It's
a pretty big omission.
It's a very big omission.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to point that out. I think it's malice too, but I also think it's interesting that it's something left out by two people who aren't looking to have kids, I guess, anytime soon. It's kind of interesting that it's not a huge thing for them. Crazy.
It's pretty glaring.
And listen, I'm not one to be context. I mean, it is important, but that's Hassan's thing. He just says it reactively about anything without actually knowing.
All these childless people are just making these claims about this person with a fucking family. It's wild.
What was said or anything. But this is important context.
It's the main big event that has caused our reaction to so many things. And then he just shows our reaction without saying what happened. That's crazy.
By the way, something else he conveniently leaves out is his friend Denims, who he co-signs, includes in this video, defends heroically. What he doesn't include, actually, is, this clip, which is going to be very painful for him to watch. But I play it for posterity's sake only. This could be why I was upset at Denims, and why I dared to utter the unforgivable B word towards her. Well, actually, no, that was because she was denying rape. This is
right.
It all kind of culminated.
That was the other reason I called her a bitch. Yeah.
Let's be real. She's not a great person. Anyway, Ian, I hope you watch this part here. Denims host this and see what she says. And then now we wonder why people are calling Child Protective Services.
But they called it before I even did this stream.
This was
he
before.
lets his dogs shit all over his mansion.
This was like basically 2 days before CPS came to our house.
Let me pull this up.
Here she is
Let's big screen this because there's like some crazy snarker narrative about this.
watching Bad Empanada. Once again, someone that Ian takes no acknowledgement of, despite him constantly being on the screen.
I saw like multiple viral tweets today, and I want to know if you guys in chat have been fooled by this massive heist.
Being like the source of a lot of information that these people are sharing. This man, he did a game roleplay where he kills Hila.
Yeah, and he's definitely a piece
Crazy doxer, did a Hila Klein murder cosplay, constantly pushes the Hila Klein is a terrorist who killed fucking Palestinian children. He's somebody who's so wildly unhinged. Hassan Piker has gone on record to say he would never platform him on his streams up until the point where it was a lucrative endeavor to play these videos about Ethan Klein and harm his reputation further by astroturfing this psychotic monster to the audience. There's a million reasons on why the Brit Bong of fucking politics should be avoided at all costs. And it's very funny they've all chosen to align themselves. Don't let them forget it either.
The puzzle in a lot of these situations that is also left out for no reason.
Yeah, so I mean, like he shows Matt Lieb, for example, and he's just like, oh, he just hates.
Matt Lieb platformed Bad Empanada, made comments about Ethan Klein and his kids with CPS, made like, I guess like, it's a joke, right? But joked right as the thing was happening about fucking Ethan Klein's kids getting interviewed by CPS.
It's Matt Lieb because he's anti-Zionist. It's like, no, I was very, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to keep the criticisms to the exact moments. I'm just going to play it. But yeah, his total omission of the existence of Bad Empanada, who's one of like the greatest internet provocateurs of all time, someone who's been decried by Hassan himself until he became his lapdog. Everybody knows this guy's a lunatic. Like, it is not a secret. Go on.
Leaves a shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons.
Now pay attention to her
chat. He doesn't have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit, and he has kids.
So what I've seen about this as like a reason to like disavow this whole podcast is because Ethan, after like the 50th time of explaining this exact clip, has apparently committed context violations here by implying that the scrolling chat that's covering the entirety of his face is just like a natural extension of Twitch. Are you guys aware that this video is altered in some capacity? Do you think this is the raw clip?
Or perhaps he lost his extra.
Do you think the chat just does this on people's streams?
So now the house is just like covered in dog shit, and he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and
the chat just covers up like.
I don't know.
Now this is Denim's reacting to this 2 days before CPS was called, and let's just take a look at the chat. It's called CPS, Child Endangerment CPS, social service. Bro needs to unironically.
And they call it like a highlight. Like, Nick, you don't understand. This isn't just a Denims' chat. This is the highlight from Denims' chat. Now, keep in mind, Denims does not even deny that these are all real messages, but apparently this was taken over the course of like, what, 15 minutes or something? Even less, potentially, right? That's like horrible. That's not even like, it's still bad. It's just bad. That doesn't change the amount of bad that we're seeing here. And like in the actual clip that was being distributed, you could see her chat in the top corner, right? Like you can come to that conclusion yourself when you're watching the clip that went viral on social media. I don't understand how this is manipulative.
Keeper is suing him for a number of different reasons.
Now pay attention to her chat.
He doesn't have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit, and he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid.
She's uncritically boosting false allegations of child endangerment by Bad Empanada, while her chat is screaming call CPS, and she has no idea why this is like a problem.
Now this is Denim's reacting to this 2 days before CPS was called, and let's just take a look at the chat. It's called CPS.
But you are unequivocally wrong in this situation. There is no sugarcoating this. Denims is a fucking monster for doing this.
Child endangerment, CPS, social service. Bro needs to unironically call CPS. That's child endangerment. Okay, if his kids have Giardia, they actually need to be taken away. Actual worst father ever. Wow. So Ethan
like
isn't only sexualizing underage girls, he's also neglecting children. Okay. D. Kleiner needs to take care of his kids. What the fuck? Giardia means you're leaving your dog shit on the floor for a while and your kids are walking on it, probably eating it, etc., etc., etc. The chat goes on and on and on. So, yeah.
What they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something, but they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia.
Giardia, by the way, extraordinarily common that dogs and people actually even contracting that disease.
Especially puppy that we just got, that happens a lot.
Yeah, it happened with Ducky. He had it too when we got him. It's very common, and they're feigning like this is some exotic disease. Anyway, it doesn't even matter really because nobody ended
Sorry, I'm covering Denim's assets right now. You can't concentrate.
up even having Giardia except
Or like the valuable content.
Olive.
The dog shit that is all over his house.
Dude, how is
Is this true?
Dude sits there listening to this uncritically. Whoa, what? I can't believe it.
Maybe once a week, I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting Giardia.
Call CPS. He advocates for a fascist apartheid state, doxes random people, endangers his children. Dogs getting Giardia is not uncommon, but your kids getting it means you're not cleaning up your dog shit. Motherfucker. Okay, well, at least someone's halfway there. Motherfucker's family rooting around in dog shit. Call CPS. Ethan is fighting shadows in his basement. He was wearing diapers. Dogs are shitting all
And
the
it's like, well, Nick, you say people aren't responsible for the things that are written in their chat or the things that their audience says and does. That's true. I 100% believe that. Except in cases where you are directly responsible for this action taking place. And I'd argue, platforming Bad Empanada, knowing who Bad Empanada is, sitting here uncritically watching this video, you are at least partially responsible for what happened here. 100%. I think everyone who's platforming Bad Empanada has some responsibility in this. For sure, you could absolutely make that claim. But I think you have more of it if you just sit here and push it to a wider audience. Go, wow, oh, that's so crazy, man. That's insane. Oh, I keep seeing Ethan's into all this crazy stuff, dude. That's so crazy. Wow.
The house. California Child Protective Services, where are you? Child Protective Services alert. Imagine being
like, I'm going to treat you like an adult and assume that you understand what you're doing here. I apologize if that's not the case. If you're too stupid to function, maybe you shouldn't have a platform to begin with. So I'm going to say I think this is malice, not just incompetence.
You're a bad parent. You didn't notice your child ate shit. His child ate shit, ate dog shit, and got an ancient disease from it. Child could die. Why don't they have so many dogs if they don't take care of them? Again, it goes. I encourage you to pause it and read these. But this is
like watching the Jewish question on stream and going, that's so interesting. There are quite a lot of CEOs I've noticed. It's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. You're kind of, yeah, no. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Context that was not mentioned. He says, wow, Ethan is such a bad dude. And
You're looking for an excuse to shit on Ethan. So you found one where they're targeting his kids and you uncritically watched it. I mean, it's super obvious what happened.
Oh, mean to Denims.
And then there's the one thing I forgot we do need to mention is that the top right is the full chat, right?
Yeah. So just to make a correction,
okay.
This is the
live chat.
And then
I saw this thing posted that Ethan's covering the top chat, and it was immediately corrected by Hila. And they just posted it, and it got like 4,000 likes because people don't care about the truth. They only want to try to find reasons to like continue to believe the lies they've been fed. They're not like, oh, I need to figure out what actually happened with Ethan. They're like, how do we make it so what I think happened actually happened so we can disavow him and ostracize him from the wider community?
Okay.
This is a highlight of all the CPS calls, which, by the way, is extraordinarily large amount. It's something like 50-something chats over the course of like 3 minutes. And that is basically your entire chat putting forth this notion of calling CPS unmoderated, unchecked, uncorrected. This is the behavior that Ian is explicitly co-signing by having her do an L Fortnite dance.
Like, I don't even think this is unfair to say. It's a little aggressive, but like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel too.
On me, and not explaining why I'm actually angry. That it seems like she's directly responsible for CPS coming to my house in the morning.
The goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
And interviewing my children.
How do you see the dislikes? Hey guys, everything that you read about the dislikes on any of these videos is completely fucking wrong. Just to be clear, there's no dislike count for any of this stuff. People are fighting with iDubbbz's Discord server. The stupid return to YouTube dislike thing doesn't work. I'm not going to sit here and explain it for the 50th time. Go to my Twitter, search it up. There's 1,000 tweets you can find on it. This thing is wrong more than it's right on videos that matter. All right, do not send me statistics. The video is not half disliked. It's just not. You have absolutely no real world evidence to provide that that is the case. All right, stop making assumptions about a video doing well or not because you downloaded an extension of all the other people who didn't like it. Okay, I don't want to hear it.
We want to stay out of the drama.
Now, do you not have a problem with that, Ian? Because it doesn't seem like you do. And if that's the case,
Like I'm glad
really
that you
gotta
guys
say-
agree. I'm glad that it worked out in your favor this time, and I'm glad it worked out in my favor this time or whatever, because it's the position I hold as well. But it's not real, and you're just spreading misinformation because you want to believe it's true. It probably isn't doing super well. I could believe it's at like 75%, maybe even 80%. But when people say it has more dislikes than likes, they're just lying. There is no actual metric you can show to prove that that's the case.
Hey, I don't think you're the good guy in this situation, buddy. And I don't know who you are. Who killed Ian and brought in this fucking weird clone? You know, they say the clone is always dumber. It's supposed to be like the 5th iteration. Like, what happened to the other 4 iDubbbz?
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or
I know,
hate.
man. I know.
You want to stay out of the drama?
You remember that movie Duplicity? He's like the 5th one. That's like drooling.
Old Mondays. Now we have shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other
Reading the
illnesses,
chat,
it's
co-signing
very,
it.
very, very dangerous when infants
Pretending to have some medical knowledge.
get the same sicknesses that adults get.
Yeah, and this is the other thing. I was watching Chud Logic, and I don't necessarily disagree with his position. He's much harder on Ethan saying that iDubbbz had to come up and say something. He also pointed out that it's a former employee, not a regular employee. I took the narrative that, like, if Chud Logic's editor, like DK Edits, came around saying that, like, I like beat the fuck out of Smaggle or whatever, I assault him as my employee, and it gets pushed around, I would hope that Chud would step in, and I feel like he would, to say that, like, hey, that's just not the case. I feel like that's like a reasonable request on my part. But like, dude, I don't know, man. I think, like, in this situation, when she's still liking the tweets from this guy, they kind of have a right to be pissed off. That's where I stand with that.
There are lots of things you can get as an adult.
You're actually so stupid.
Not an ounce of pushback of saying, hold on, guys, maybe you're being maybe you're being a little ridiculous.
She encourages it. And she's saying that, oh, wow, babies can't get the same diseases as adults. It's like, you are...
And it's like, Ethan is making an assumption as to their true motives for doing this. And then when it turns out that those motives are correct, it's like, oh, well, you kind of didn't use the right work to get there. But, I mean, he went on video and kind of said that that's the case. So, well, I guess you won this round. Be a little more careful next time.
Obviously childless. And as I said in the content note, will clearly remain that way because I don't think you'd be a good girlfriend or wife just because you're very mean. Okay? I wouldn't want to be with someone this mean, frankly. And so that's the reason why I think she'll be childless. But that's just my opinion. Good luck out there.
You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
A small infant that has no immune system shouldn't be catching anything.
You literally just explained why infants catch everything. Should I go back? Are you too... She's actually so dumb. She doesn't even know the words that are coming out of her mouth. And this isn't even the first
Nicholas DeOrio.
time she's like... She's perpetually self-owning herself.
That has no immune system shouldn't be catching anything.
Baby who has no immune system. What is the immune system for? To stop diseases and infections. To battle them. Rather to fight them. And what happens if you don't have an immune system? You get sick more.
Yeah.
I learned that in medical school. Which is apparently some deep medical knowledge that she does not have access to.
No,
They
one
don't teach that at the commune.
his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that he said, everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by
She's doing like the dog whistle.
his crew.
No wonder this motherfucker is always sick. Yeah. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense.
I have 3 kids under the age of 5. Again, childless. Like, literally so childless. Like, I mean...
And it's so true, too, because when you have kids, they're constantly around other stupid kids, and they get diseases much more frequently. That causes the adults around them to get sick. Yeah. New dads, and then, like, the time when your kid goes to kindergarten or your kid goes to preschool, yeah, you're going to get sick a lot more. Holy shit.
They also like to include your Tourette's in it, and when you had the tick of sniffing, they were acting like you're either sick or on drugs. So.
Oh, yeah, and they...
I could see it. Like, imagine all 3 of his kids get sick from each other, and they're like, dude, all 3 of your kids are sick at once. What are you doing? It sounds like something that would come out of their mouth.
Oh, they're all fans. They're all like former fans. Like, they know I have ticks. And then, like, all of a sudden, when I'm a bad guy, they have no problem being ableist and pretending like I'm on cocaine.
Oh, dude. Oh, buddy, you don't understand. These aren't real values. Dude, I have never gotten spammed with more fat comments than by a leftist audience who I didn't agree with on Palestine.
You could have milked that so
Holy
much harder.
shit,
Big
dude.
content
Dude, I'm
strategy
sorry.
problem
Half
sharing.
these
I'll
people
help
are
you
on
maximize
fucking
your money, all right?
Ozempic, all right? And their audience is sitting here being like, well, actually, disavow everything Nick says because he is a disgusting fat body. It's just like, I'm sorry. Is this the left or the right I'm supposed to be fighting with right now? I have no idea.
Which is something perpetually pushed. And even Ian in his video has a
Like, am I supposed to say that like Frogan went to the gym? Am I supposed to believe that Frogan went to the gym? I don't.
where he explicitly cuts in a cough or a tick or something. Like it's cut. Like he inserted it intentionally to try to create some atmosphere about me.
Yeah. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is it happening? How is this happening?
Well, it's not.
What a despicable human being. I mean, talk about being way over the line, being directly linked to the CPS coming to my house, being unapologetic, being cruel and nasty. And then for Ian to be like, actually, I agree with everything she said and I have no criticism. In fact, I don't even think the context is important, is a cowardice on a level that I have not, maybe never seen on YouTube. He's this guy who's like, I'm doing content cap. I talk about everything and I take everything head on and I debunk thoroughly. It's like, you
just
threw this video together, clearly.
You regurgitated snark talking points and then gave writing credits to every person who appeared in your video. It's like very obvious that you didn't do any research.
It's just...
And if you did, you're just malicious.
So, bro, I don't know. It's so bad.
It's charitable to say that Ian threw this video together. I don't know if I even want to afford that to him. Because if he threw it together, that would explain why parts of it are so bad. When it's like, do you really want to give that for free? Oh no, it was a mistake. He didn't know. No, I don't want to give that to him.
It's just so bad. Oh, hold on one sec. I got it. One sec. I got this.
Okay. Whoop. There we go.
Well,
Oh yes, my friend has passed away. So yeah, I mean, important context, right?
Yes.
A little bit. You're friends with him, and you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit. Now I want to put forth that...
Goat.
Yes, I did.
Thank you for the $5, my
I
man.
really don't think if Adam McIntyre was doing a stream accusing me of neglecting and abusing my children to the point where CPS needs to be called, and she was chatting with him, I don't think she would ever do that. And if she did, I certainly would have a problem with that. Clearly, you can't see the difference, because that's what I'm mad about. Your friend Denham's, who you are in her chat co-signing her, is doing this, which I just showed.
Yeah.
Olivia is friends with someone who's just talking shit. That's not something that,
And like, dude, I don't know. The Adam McIntyre stuff was crazy because the whole comparison with the stuff that Trisha paid, like about Trisha Paytas. Wait, am I talking about the right thing right now? I might be completely conflating the two. I haven't seen the video in a couple days. I'm talking about the Trisha Paytas clip, but why didn't you say something when Adam McIntyre made a comment about Trisha Paytas? It's like, they're not even pro Trisha when that happened. Dude, they hated Trisha, but they didn't side with him because they disagreed with him. That's not the same as like being friends with somebody and not speaking up, right? That's like a completely different context.
I'm not going to fucking judge her for something like that, okay?
It's about Olivia being friends with Adam. Yeah, but it was Olivia being friends with Adam while Adam was taking shots at Trisha, who the podcast was against at that point, right? Who at that's like after the friendship exploded. That's a completely different context to the one that they're presenting.
Her friends are doing is significantly, and it's so much worse that even comparing it, I can't believe that you actually are doing this in good faith, or if you're actually just so got punched in the head too many times.
Are you required to speak out when somebody that you're friends with attacks one of your enemies in an underhanded way? And why would that be directly comparable to, like, I don't know.
By now.
Also, the fact that he went out of his way to include the crew, and he says with his...
And it's horrible, but it doesn't end with CPS at the house. Well, yeah, if you remove CPS from the narrative completely.
Why does Olivia get a pass? Like, so you are choosing to go after the crew when you certainly could just not do that and focus on Ethan.
She's not getting a pass. She didn't do what you did.
Also, you were taking me out of a scary public conversation, and obviously I felt a specific way about the things that he was saying, and you gave me the option to talk to you about it, not in front of everybody, which I was very grateful for.
Of course, I got you always. And the thing is, like, it was a response to some people. There was some grumbling of people being like, "Why is Olivia friends with Adam?" And I wanted to address that. So, like, this characterization that me trying to, you know, help Olivia in a sticky situation with a friend who's now kind of like turned into an enemy of the show. Who's talking.
Also, there's like another whole narrative here that like Olivia, like the whole like friendship narrative. Olivia is also an employee of Ethan. So there's a bit of a slightly different dynamic there. And I don't think like Ethan could say, hey, you need to cut off Adam. I feel like that would be an overreach. Like, I don't think it makes a huge difference, but it's something that you should note, that Olivia isn't just like a friend of Ethan. She is an employed person at the H3 podcast. That is her social media footprint. It's not like huge successful streamer, and again, not to discount, because I know she has started streaming recently or something, right? She is an employee first and foremost of the podcast.
Shit. Versus you being friends with Denim.
Yeah, it feels like another excuse to drag the crew, which is weird, in a video that's like pretending to defend them awkwardly.
Doing what I just showed you is not the same thing. In fact, not even close. It's different worlds, man. And like, if you can't see that, then you're like a...
Unrelated, but who would want to be friends with Adam McIntyre? Apparently Colleen Ballinger. I don't know. Like, that's how we got this little rat in this fucking community. Holy shit, dude. If Colleen Ballinger could just keep it together, this kid wouldn't exist.
You're a moral baby. You're so undeveloped, bro.
Different perspectives. Would you sacrifice the Colleen Ballinger ukulele apology video for Adam McIntyre to cease existing?
V's got better.
What would you do if you couldn't go to his tour? I still don't know what he does at his tour. Does he just stand up there and like record a live commentary video in front of all these people? Does he like sing and dance or something?
Perspectives on this, you know. Anywho. Okay. Olivia did not do anything, and
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment?
Well, I thought that's why you brought on Sean the Black. Isn't that the whole... I'm kidding. Dude, we had to bring on Sean the Black because I have to remind you, everybody, that I, Ian Jomha, have used the N-word.
Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or
it's so pathetically dumb. And I said when you were in the bathroom, I just explained that, like...
Guys, I brought a black guy on Content Cop. That's how you know I'm fucking truthful about trying to fix everything.
If Adam McIntyre was saying, like... doing what she did, being like, oh, let's call CPS, he's an abuser.
Tweet on Nicholas DeOrio.
Keffels appreciated the shout out. Starting from the beginning, what I've gathered so far is that Tech got cucked, Ian got cucked, and Mike from PA got cucked.
Mike got super cucked.
In other words, a massive win for us.
Yes!
And you know what else is massive?
And you know what else is massive?
He neglects his children. Like, we need to call CPS, etc., etc. I would be mad at you equally. That would be a big problem with me. And it's something, by the way, that you would never do. Obviously, right? Like, let's be real here, you fucking dumbass. A lot of this is just like, you're so dumb.
Yeah.
You're like dumb or bad faith. What happened, bro?
Like,
what happened?
The obvious points. Yeah.
What is happening? I'm like, it is surreal. It just, it's just surreal.
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate.
Anyway, here's Ian.
I don't think anyone deserves that
electronic
level of scrutiny! Dude, I love that boogie clip, bro. Every time I hear that.
And it's the full-blown Quran. Some of you guys...
Oh, this one, we didn't actually even want to show it. So here, you can just switch off.
Bad and I when I broke that Jesus VHS over my knee.
Here he tears it at the seam.
But I know there's going to be a lot of people in the audience just cringing when my money...
Yeah, so he just tore Quran in half, which I don't think is probably a good thing to do.
Dude, I love this too. Guys, do you know, Ethan, that my 8% Muslim wife, okay, was upset about the things going on in Gaza? My 8% porn star, why I left Islam wife did this, okay? And by the way, I want you to know, my Ian, I ripped a Quran in half, Jomha ass, all right, is really upset that my 8% Muslim wife is super passionate about this topic. This is so fucking dude, half Lebanese. Bro, she's on record, 8%. Keemstar is 9% African, for context. My 7%, my 6%, fucking I'm sorry. You're 50% Irish. You got the Frogan genes. Calm down. That doesn't mean you can't like do all this stuff. It's just dude, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It is so wild to watch white people cosplay as like as like the actual legitimate victims. I don't know. It just feels like you're putting on the cancer patient garb. Guys, I don't know. It feels like stolen valor. It feels like stolen valor to poise your wife like this.
You know, I'm saying.
Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting, again, he does this.
my
by the
God.
way, his video is literally like co-written by the Snark subreddit, which tells you everything you need to know if you know what that means. He's world building. He does this thing where they basically like dream of a scenario where I'm being nice to Olivia.
You don't have to say, I don't know, because Ian literally said 50% Lebanese. Oh, that's fantastic. I appreciate you coming to correct me. But how about we go on and we look up her ancestry report that she herself fucking posted on Discord a couple of years ago when it wasn't like ideal to have that 50% Lebanese. Did she have a second ancestry report? Because I'm a bit curious, chatter. What I see here is 8% Arab, 50% Irish, and 25% Italian. So out of the 50% Irish and the 25% Italian, how do we get to 50% Arab here? I don't know. Listen, chatter. I know you came in here to correct me. I'm just wondering. So I'm 25% Italian. Do I have the Habibi pass as well? Is that part of the 50? Or is the Irish part of the 50? Like a potato Arab? Like what's happening here?
Because I'm afraid she's going to sue me. It's like, how did you even leap? There's like 3 leaps in logic of assumptions. And the fact that that point made it into this video as some assertion of fact is truly remarkable.
Guys,
stuff.
I am fucking half Italian and half Sicilian, and I am no longer in the Sabra tier of the anti-Semitic fucking tier list. Let's go.
Truly. Putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like...
And like the point was to also like, I felt like his criticism wasn't really necessary. He was just being mean for the sake of being mean and trying to get...
I cannot believe that you didn't think of the plight of a Nisa potato Arab Jomha, okay?
Like clout with Snark.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he did make a decision in that point to choose clout over Olivia, in my opinion, because he put her in a really bad situation. So anyway, I don't need to explain anymore. It's dumb. You're dumb. It's wrong. You're pathetic. Moving on.
Other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole...
What is hard? What's happening?
That's another Snark talking point. That the crew is just suffering.
They're secretly
to
grumbling.
be here,
And
they really don't want to be here.
My grumbling is not secret.
It's very public.
Very public.
That's true.
And constant.
People constantly forget. Dan, you...
I don't get it. Why are all of Twitch's most fucking oppressed creators at least half white? Like, I don't understand this. They're all fucking white.
What a pain in the ass you are. They always leave that out. Yeah, okay, so I'm ruining the life of everyone on my crew, who, by the way, is a slave and here against their will.
Oh my god, people are saying we just made...
Keemstar is not black because 9% of him came from Africa. I'm sorry, it's not how it works. If it is, then we've got to go back in time and tell everybody the Alex clip isn't as bad as we thought.
1 minute in the video.
Oh god, this is why I'm turning the plug-in back on. I gotta turn it back on.
I can't, it's so bad.
You gotta just save it.
It's just drenched in oozing and pathetic hypocrisy and erroneous...
Yeah, and even if she is an Arab, so what? Well, the justification is, well, that's why she cares so much. No, it's because she's mind raped by Hassan Piker. That's why. That's why she cares so much. Because she thinks that's what good people do. Because the Champagne Socialist said so.
Fucking assumptions.
It's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. I've only made it 1 minute, you guys. I don't know what to do.
And he left so much out. It's like we have to explain all the shit that he didn't include.
Right.
Rush stupid video.
Just look at his
Now we gotta do the work.
Well, the CPS omission is a big one.
Like, Ian pulls it like a trap card. Like, aha, you've activated my trap card. My wife's ethnicity. You'd be none too pleased to find out about the effect.
Because a lot of this centers around
a lot of it.
And so
like,
maybe now that it's been established, you won't have to re-explain it over and over.
No. Good point. We're just laying some fundamentals.
Oh, you were agreeing with me. That no.
I agree.
That no. I was like, okay.
You know, on Wednesday, I accused Ian of getting his tattoos from a quarter windy toy station.
Yeah.
I apologize. Obviously, people make fun of my tattoos. I shouldn't have said that. What I should have said is he got his new personality from a 25% windy toy thing because it's very low quality.
You want to stay out of the drama?
Yeah, I know it.
Thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia
Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
He has 9% of the N-word pass, literally.
is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
How are they spinning me being nice to Olivia as a bad thing?
Incredible.
I guess people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with? What a point. What a fucking slam dunk.
Like, and by the way, isn't it crazy that, like, Sean the Black, if you say the N-word, you should be killed, did a podcast with iDubbbz's? The guy who said that, like, Ethan isn't even sorry he said the N-word all those times, did a podcast with N-word F-slur iDubbbz's. Isn't that crazy?
He's fucked up out your night.
What a slam dunk, man.
He apologized? Oh, I guess he used the word sorry, therefore now all is forgiven. In the one clip that mattered.
His point is that I should have been mean to you, which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless.
Yeah.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. I shouldn't make fun of the CTE thing. That's a real complication. Right. Although I didn't choose to get in the ring and keep getting punched in the head like Homer Simpson.
What's the name of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
You don't understand. Individuality doesn't exist. All your thoughts and feelings and opinions come from... No, but it literally doesn't. I'm sorry. You're actually 100% wrong.
I just saw
Individuality doesn't exist on
Nicholas
YouTube
DeOrio.
because the majority of these influencer like comment sections are filled with people who literally need to be paraded like goldfish from one side of the bowl to the other, and they forget who they're aligned to at the end of the day. All of these people are herded like sheep to the fucking topic. That's why our job explaining shit is so difficult, because you get wired from watching one Hassan Piker stream because you can't actually think for yourself. It's actually insane.
Against Mike Tyson, which is essentially what happened. I rooted for you 2 times, man. And it's like you just get punched in the head. And I told you even last time you were on the podcast, I said, you got to stop fighting and try to make some money from this. And he's like, I'm going to get punched in the head more. And at a certain point, you get punched in the head so many times, you don't know when to stop getting punched in the head. And it just runs away. It's a runaway train.
My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like you got.
My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. You have to understand the context of the employees watching this live on stream, not knowing this is coming, and especially the ones that also subsequently like work with iDubbbz's on the Creator Clash stuff. Like, dude, I'm glad that you said that, but I feel like we've been thrown under the bus a little bit.
Oh, so humiliating.
I can only imagine what these people are thinking watching this while like Ian White Savior comes in to protect the employees of the H3 podcast. It's crazy, dude. This guy's savior complex knows no bounds.
Thanks, dog. It's very clean. You should have just not gone there in the video.
So nice. Also, it's really a bad point. Like, it's so unnecessary to his entire thesis, which, by the way, I don't really know what his thesis is.
What's the name of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
Call Lena what it is. Collateral damage. Oh, I don't mean to do... Sorry, Lena. I didn't mean to do this. No, she's collateral damage, and you accepted that fact when you posted that video.
Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
This is... we can...
Why are you mean to him and not to everybody else around you?
That's kind of... Yeah. I mean, we could try... I'd like to try to formulate a thesis at the end of this, but I really have to play.
I serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you guys have probably pushed back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you...
Hold on. Wait, someone in chat. Is it fair to say iDubbbz's always had a savior complex, but he chose better targets back in the day? Dude, who the fuck was content cop Tana Mojo saving? We have to use the N-word to save black people. Tana Mojo has... No, I don't think that's the case. He did bad unboxing and ripped Qurans in half. I don't think that's what he was good at. No, this is a new thing. This is a new thing that's been put in his head.
World building, presuming to know the inner...
The guy, Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
He lathered himself up and flopped around on the floor like a slug. That's the content he used to make. Vomiting during a fucking cake video or something with Max Mofo.
I really like you.
Why?
Workings of what happens behind the scenes with the crew is just an insane point to make in a video that's supposed to be like a reputable, well-conceived takedown.
You have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like...
You know, I can tell your parents don't love you, Ian, and I think it's a shame that they didn't shower you with more love, because clearly... no, I'm just going to assume his relationship with his parents...
Dude, he saved the image of Italians by calling out Keemstar.
And include that as a talking point. It's that dumb.
Mom, I'm sorry.
That being said, I do believe his parents love him. He seems to have a good relationship with them, which makes this all the more perplexing.
Like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job.
It's not your job, and you don't know anything about their job. What are you doing right now?
To confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles.
Keemstar Orbiter, Nick DeOrio. Mr.
How could
Oreo.
Kucherov win the heart if he won't even show up to the All-Star game? I guess that was last year.
What are you talking? What are you doing?
On Twitch was not like
The heart of the NHL, dude.
not my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like the. What are you doing? What are you talking about? He's cosplaying as an employee who's uncomfortable, based on a clip of me defending Olivia. What is happening?
Oh yeah, and our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl.
Wait, so yeah, this clip isn't connected to that statement. I was really trying to unpack that.
And dude, that clip of thanks Anissa for showing up for your girl hits so much harder when we look at all the glazed tweets that Anissa Jomha we looked at earlier. We're like, oh well, dude, we'll always support you guys. Dude, it's so pathetic, bro.
I don't know what his point was at all.
And that's part of my issue with this video too, is that like he's supposedly a good video maker and a good point maker. This video is just so disjointed, totally like fragmented. The arguments are not well thought out, well executed. It's just a mess. And so like his point is that because I was nice to Olivia,
it's a cult propaganda piece.
Therefore, all my employees are secretly enslaved.
But how is that connected to like pushing back, like talking about some Predators of Twitch segment and how we didn't like it?
Why that? Like, why that? At least make the... Why is that the example? Bro, you are so off bit. You are so weird. You're so weird, bro.
Actually stood up for you so many times, because like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to.
Didn't plan to have to say that, by the way.
No.
It does become relevant, though, at a certain point when you're like, wow, these people are not really good friends of mine. Why is that happening?
This is the day, right?
It's like, this is what they wanted. All they wanted was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're not like shit parents and our kids don't eat shit off the floor after the Child Protective Services were sent to their house. And it was like a fucking tense time, and they said some shit, and they responded pretty harshly to some of the stuff that was coming out. And it's like, yeah, I kind of understand why they did that. And I kind of understand now, seeing how these people have reacted to that, going like, yeah, I guess they were kind of right to say it. I don't know. It could have gone either way, I guess.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5.
It's like, well, do you think they really have to come out and make a statement on it? It's kind of like asking them to get dragged in. Isn't it so telling, though, that their choice was immediately to get directly involved, bring out all the people who are fighting with them, promoting the people who are literally, like, encouraging this to continue to go on? It's like, I'm starting to think that they were kind of just like bad in this situation. I'm starting to think that Anissa is just kind of an asshole. I don't know.
This is the day we.
This is the day that CPS visited us.
When I was so fired up and I was like,
yes,
yes. No, I didn't plan one day in my life to have CPS called on me, and you would be friends with people that like
what's the name
created
of the
that talking point, or at least like
Orbiter, Nick DeOrio.
Dude, you say Joji's the real winner.
Joji is the real winner here, TBH.
It's like, then they couldn't go to Joji. Like, whose wedding was it? Max's wedding that iDubbbz just didn't go to or whatever? I guess because they were getting tattoos that day. Is that true? Bro, oh god. It's so easy to shit on these guys.
Made it popular.
Everything iDubbbz does is super questionable.
And you wouldn't say anything about them, and then I would call you out like,
I've heard that. I don't know that for a matter of fact, so please don't quote me directly.
No, I never planned that day to come. And I never thought that I would have to be like, I stood up for you and you didn't. No.
It's all part of your sneaky Jew plan.
That's the thing, is they thought they were friends, right? That like, this is something that was just like go unsaid. Like, yeah, of course, I got your back or whatever. But instead, iDubbbz made an entire video downplaying by dismissing the fact. Wait, he downplayed it by not contextualizing why Ethan was like justifiably mad, and kind of preventing the narrative of like, oh, this is due to the CPS call from being understood by his audience. I guess it's downplayed in that regard. Yeah, I kind of don't feel bad for them begging for fucking help.
And he didn't say that. It's just a little joke. I'm inserting.
But how are you going to show me in this state, one of our hardest days?
It's horrible.
And you're not going to say why? What happened?
Totally justifiable anger.
I can't get over that point. I'm going to keep saying it all day probably.
No,
I just can't get over that it's not in the video.
It's very disturbing. I just don't know who this guy is. I really don't.
I'm gonna stand by you. That's insane. It's absolutely insane and disgusting. But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
Yep.
I'm not going to assume that Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Dude, wait, did she just remove the Italian? Is like she took a second one and now she's no longer Italian.
We know.
For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So
I'm starting to think maybe she lied before. I can't imagine getting your wife's ethnicity wrong in your fucking race card, Paul.
Nicholas,
right?
The goat.
There
Thank
has
you
to
for
be
the
some
$5,
other
my
explanation.
man.
I could believe that she is 50% and she lied in the past, maybe. But like, how do you get your wife's race card wrong? Are they like? You'd have to be like. I don't think that's possible.
Anissa is very well.
And sir, do you happen to know of any violence perhaps coming towards Israel, where Hila grew up? Perhaps from Lebanon, Hezbollah, perhaps? Does that ring a bell to you, you dumb, ignorant fuck? How dare you attempt to lecture me on this conflict? You just learned about this like 2 weeks ago, clearly, and you're just deferring to Hassan as an expert. It's mind-bendingly dumb. Bro, please call in and debate me on Israel-Palestine. Let's see who knows more about the conflict, you dumb fuck.
And like, in this situation, right, we're seeing this whole debate me or watch my video thing. Ethan has now
Nicholas,
watched the video,
the goat.
and he's
Thank you
demanding for the
$5,
debate.
my
I don't think
man.
there's any reason why iDubbbz should stand down here. He's like met the like the prerequisite. Yeah, call for it.
Nicholas, the goat.
iDubbbz, if you believe in like 1/15 of the stuff you posted in this video, you should go out to defend it. Mr. Oh, I did content cop and I didn't go and debate people, so they didn't really have my opinions on stuff. All right, fucking dude, turn off pussy mode, get on stream and chat with Ethan about it. If you think he's so fucking misled.
Holy shit, dude.
Familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of.
And then he'd Sam Cedar Hassan Piker onto the call, and it would be one of the most pathetic things in YouTube history.
Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not going to fucking defend you.
Okay, so this is very interesting. He says on the day that CPS was called and we're understandably heated, he goes, no, I'm not going to defend you. Why? Because you're Israeli.
You're Israeli.
That's literally what he said.
Yeah.
Why won't I defend you? Because you're
Sorry,
Israeli.
my Lebanese wife, bro. Unfortunately, I cannot defend the CPS call. My wife is 50% or 8% Lebanese.
That's exactly his argument. Do I have it wrong?
Include the flags so a 5-year-old could understand what he was saying. So yes, that's what he was saying.
I feel like that's exactly what he's saying. And correct me if I'm wrong.
He put the Israel flag and he said, no, she's not going to defend you.
Yeah, I just don't want people to be like, that's not what he meant. I mean, I don't see it any other way.
Stop hallucinating anti-Semitism.
So once again, if you had a problem with Israel, dude, you could have had a problem with us when we were friends making videos and, you know, all of a sudden now, I'm not going to defend an Israeli.
Damn you, Jews!
I'm not going to defend an Israeli. Are you serious right now? It doesn't matter if they're right or if my friends are insanely harassing them.
Oh my God. Luke in the chat said, Eli's more Italian than Anissa is Lebanese.
That's a joke. I made that joke.
And people are saying this is like bad faith, saying like, oh, is he accusing iDubbbz of being anti-Semitic for this reason? But it's like, that's what he said in the clip. I couldn't defend you when you were talking about it here, and the context is the CPS getting called, and it's like my wife is fucking part Arab. How could I do that?
Tweet on Nicholas DeOrio.
And like, whose fault is this?
This part always gets me because I don't understand why Ian thinks backing up Anissa doesn't end with him and Anissa looking like total tools.
I don't know. I don't know why iDubbbz does any of the stuff he does.
He said that this morning. That's so funny.
I'm not.
The only way that iDubbbz could say that and not mean it that way is if he didn't know the context of that clip and put it in because he was fed.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my
If he didn't do any of the research, that's the only way this guy could come out from not looking like a malicious piece of shit, is if he owns up to the fact that he did none of the research and all the clips were handed to him.
Listen, I'm not going to
I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, this was us as friends. Apparently, you can't stand up to an Israeli. So that's exactly proving what our problem was with you.
Apparently, they secretly hated us.
Yes.
He watches the CPS episode. Well, he also credits them as writers. So he might just be watching Hassan Piker's stream where Bad Empanada explains the CPS episode. And he's pulling the clips not knowing the full context. But that's being ultra charitable to Ian in a way that I don't think he's earned.
So, like, you're exactly proving what the point was that we were making. that you can't stand up for me because I'm in Israel.
Israels are never worth defending. And Israeli.
Yeah,
anyone who's born in Israel. Anyone who's
like this video screams, "I'm in Hassan Piker's chat," and this is the video that I would make if I too have not seen the content nuke.
born in Israel against their choice. People don't choose where they're born, right? We all know that. Anyone who's born in Israel is not worth defending on any condition. I don't even know.
I'm sorry. This is not unfair. This is not unfair based off of the poor argumentation that iDubbbz shows.
If he knows that's what he's saying, because he's obviously lost like a lot of brain cells.
He took some denim lessons because he's already on.
Dude, when he did the fucking LASIK surgery, the laser went through and zapped a piece of his brain.
Himself in his own video so many times.
That's it.
You just let it run the course, and he owns himself 5 minutes later.
There's actually a condition for this. I forget who coined this, but it's snark-brained. You start using snark regularly, and you get infected with these people's logic.
No, I think it's the LASIK surgery that made his eyes look weird.
And like it actually,
he got like incidentally, like he got an accidental lobotomy at the eye doctor.
Actually scrambles your brain, and then when you come out to the real world and try to express those thoughts, it's so obvious to be like, dude, what? You're like fucking nuts. That's it. That's what's happening. He's snark-brained, which I never thought Ian, my friend, would ever fall down that loop. And by the way, when I say he's snark-brained, I'm not kidding. He was already, in previously, what we've shown before, shown screenshots from Snark as a reputable source.
It's like, dude, why are you using DGG, bro? Guy who pulled his evidence from H3 Snark.
Source of information.
We want to stay out of the drama.
God, I could go on forever. I mean, same guy that says that it's not, like, the crew should be staying out of it is sourcing Snark, who has been bullying the crew for no reason.
Everybody. They make everyone's life hell by definition. And presumably, it seems like he's been browsing there for a while. So
yeah.
That's friend activity right there. Warning, friend activity. Just look at him, man. Just look at him. Do the Fortnite thing. Just take that fucking dumb face in. This man used to be this face used to mean something. Please, God.
Nicholas!
I love how they keep
goat.
cutting to like
Thank you
his
for the
dead
$5,
fucking
my man.
expression with like the opacity down Fortnite meme in the background. It just, dude, that's what Content Cop is now, guys. It's what you're seeing here. You know?
Please, God, give me the grace. And
the thing that created the commentary community and built like video essays is this.
There's a KFC in Yemen!
I'm an hour behind, but Nick is a black man. Shonda Black using his race cards so often the edges are white. That's a FC King bar.
Thank you.
The wisdom to never fall this hard. I've fallen in my career. I've fallen. I've gotten back up. I've learned. I've grown. Please, God, don't ever let me fall this hard. I'm speaking in tongues. Lord, don't let me down this far. Maybe he's possessed by a demon, an anti-Semitic demon.
Oh.
That would make more sense than whatever is happening.
That would actually make me feel better. We can treat that.
Possessed.
Dude, it's the demon that took Tipster and Bo Blacks from us has corrupted iDubbbz. Like that, somebody fucks with a demon, okay? And he keeps jumping from commentary YouTuber to commentary YouTuber, making them all self-destruct for my amusement.
He didn't mean it in the end.
Maybe I'm the demon.
Some garlic in the room.
Oh, that's vampires.
But I wanted to say, like, I'm not here to split hairs on nationality and stuff. Like,
no,
she's
not.
Lebanese. She identifies as that. That's fine, right? But like, he's crediting her as like, well, she's Lebanese, so she has this unique perspective on the world. It's like,
the
excuse
demon
me.
has taken Mutahar. The demon has taken Bo Blacks. The demon has.
She lived there. She was born there. I lived there for 5 years. Ela was born there, though. She didn't have a
Yeah, I think they did have a clip of him wearing the Sonichu medallion too, right?
choice in the matter. Anissa, has she even been to Lebanon? I don't know. I know she didn't grow up there. So it's like, bro, you can't give her authority and then expect us to be like, oh, you guys are idiots. You don't know what you're talking about. It's just,
yeah, dude, it's like, it's the same thing when you go like, oh, this guy sounds like he could be the next Medicare. And then you see that person have like a massive controversy like immediately after. Is somebody walking up to them being like, that you should do that for good measure on every single YouTuber you come across. Wow, you're good, dude. You could be the next Mr. Medicare.
I just saw
not illogical.
How is that even relevant to her not being able to stand up for me as a friend?
Why did So we're going to talk about the Oompaville video probably in the next stream. We'll even watch it. But I'm going to give you like a soft take on it right now before I even see it. I get the vibe that Oompaville does not give a fuck about anything he's ever talking about unless it's a special case. And I feel like this is just one of those going through the motions type things where the audience didn't agree with him, so he just deleted the video. And listen, all right, I understand, blah, 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 principles is going to sound kind of hypocritical. I appreciate it at face value when people tell me they don't really give a fuck about anything, because then I know not to go to them for opinions on stuff like this. Like, I would rather a million Oompavilles than one Frogan. Right? I would much prefer somebody who wears on the sleeve that they actually don't give a fuck about anything they're talking about, because it at least tells me that, like, I don't have to watch
the
them.
guy?
Because you're Israeli and she's Lebanese. So
Mr. Oreo.
You know,
like, Oompaville seems like an alright dude, but like, I don't go to him to watch anything about drama. You shouldn't watch Mudahard for drama. You shouldn't watch Charlie for drama. You shouldn't watch any of these. Like, these are not your drama people. I'm sorry. They're not. They're just simply not sources on anything. I don't really care what any of them have to say.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my friend.
Israelis and Lebanese, they just can't get together.
Thank you.
By the way,
You
shout out
just,
to my great 2 employees that I love and cherish,
right,
who are Lebanese.
Yes. Yes.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that one?
Like,
just
the other day, Baby fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed.
So this is the Gallant thing. Which
Snark's greatest hits.
Yeah,
this is Snark's greatest
I think
hits.
he may have even ripped this from the Snark subreddit. Like, I think if you go there, you'll probably find this exact compilation that he ripped. Now, this is fascinating to me. They claim that Hila, if you read online about her.
So it's going to be that they didn't include any of the retraction that was, like, very quickly given after this whole thing went up.
Claim is that Hila says children are trained to hate Jews from birth. What is their evidence?
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that one?
Like, their evidence is Hila doing I mean.
And I don't even remember what, like, sometimes there's multiple conversations happening at once here. I don't even remember where this was going. Like, this was our post-election stream, right? Where we were all...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was lots of chatter back and forth, as the podcast
a
does.
nightmare of a stream when we were like, okay, Trump won.
Oh. So at any rate...
I don't even remember what, like...
So once again, world building on this.
Yeah.
This is their fucking evidence for this insane claim, by the way. This extraordinary claim that Hila thinks kids are trained to hate Americans.
Like, if these guys are so pro-genocide and anti-Palestine, why can I find, like, at a whim, more clips of him denouncing Israel's, like, negative tactics they've used? And then, like, we keep looping back to this one that he's apologized for.
Which is what he said by the age of 2. Pretty extreme claim. The evidence should be pretty extreme.
They're taught at 2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that one?
Like, checkmate.
Yeah. Wait, is that true? Apparently Hassan told Asman if he watched one of Hassan's Orbiter's videos on Ethan, he'd gift thousands in gifted subs. Dude, first of all, that would be literally giving money to a Trump supporter, okay? So that's like step 1 of why that's unhinged for Hassan to do, right? That would be giving shitloads of money to a Trump supporter. And then 2, he could just watch Frogan and insult her the entire time. I don't think that he did that. Can we talk about the finances quickly of genocide support? I want to go through this with you because I posted this on Twitter and I had some really mad people in my replies who didn't appreciate the fact that their behavior has been so thoroughly called out. And I think this is completely valid. If anyone in chat wants to fight with me about this, I'm not really. I don't really care, but this is what I've taken from this whole situation, and I would really like to show you. If Hila Klein being shamed for her mandatory sorry, let me just kill that for a second. That's gonna bump a bunch while I'm trying to talk. If Hila Klein is being shamed for her mandatory military service, why are people like Denim's Hassan, iDubbbz's, and Frogan not criticized harder for paying taxes? And you go, Nick, you've criticized this. Why are you bringing up the tax talking point? It's because I think it's so unhinged to get mad at somebody for mandatory military service that they have done, right? And then sit here taking donations, right? And then, like, the donations are taxed by the federal government, who's giving money to Israel, who's fucking blowing up Palestinian babies. Every donation to Hassan Piker eventually goes down that monetary path. If you're saying that simply saying negative things about Hassan is genocidal support, right? These are the pro-genocide influencers. Bro, every tier 3 sub has a genocide footprint overall in the Middle East. How the fuck can you argue this talking point? All of these guys are paying taxes. All of the money that's sent in taxes has a potential chance to end up in the Israeli government's hands when the US government sends them money, right? You also would have a genocide footprint if you're supporting the streamers who, by the way, let's call it what it is. They do for-profit genocide streams. That's what these people are doing. They sit there every day watching bad empanada videos to heal the Middle East for profit, making money off of it. I've been told on several occasions that me being an American taxpayer means that I need to care and speak out against the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Why are we not holding influencers who cover the same genocide for profit to the same standard? They do this while being showered with taxable donations on a site that is owned by a company directly pulled from the boycott list. Oh no! Amazon is on the boycott list of all the stuff that we're not supposed to be using because they're pro-Israel. So where is the genocidal fucking footprint being challenged by these for-profit Palestine fucking streamers, dude? They're on a site that's on the boycott list. All your donations have a chance to end up in the Israeli government's pocket. Why are we calling out YouTube commentators then? Why are we not calculating how much they're supporting genocide? Why does nobody talk about this? And these are all of their talking points. I need to care because I pay taxes, but you don't need to care when you send money to people who pay taxes? What? What are you talking about? Fuck you. It's the stupid cope to make drama YouTubers cover fucking foreign politics. Whatever. That's just that's my 2 cents there.
Where does it go from there? Like, I don't say anything. I don't know what.
But you know, part of the reason why people are like, he's going to do a content cup on you. And I was like, there's no way. Because when I think about like actually what's out there, when you get to the nitty gritty, people say a lot of shit, but you can't show or support any of it because all of it is just fucking lies and bullshit.
You can't have Starbucks and Coke, but we can fucking send gifted subs on Amazon. It's so fucking selective in what we actually care about. It's sickening.
For you, the clip. Then it has the actual clip.
Oh,
okay.
We need to go key Tesla cars because Elon Musk is a Nazi. Anyways, thank you for the 15 gifted subs.
Great. Let's watch it on
The movement of not voting is so funny to me. Especially by people pro-Palestine, because if Trump gets elected,
he's the most pro-Israel president of all time.
It's not good.
The context is Elon's fucking defending Gaza because people like Hassan pathetically voted.
And by the way, again, all of that is based in the foundation of like, Ela should have gone to jail to not do her mandatory military service, that we oftentimes lie and pretend she shot and killed innocent Gazan babies, bro. This is so fucking ridiculous off the premise.
Or Jill Stein instead of Kamala Harris and say things as dumb as this.
Hypothetical reality where Kamala Harris would not be as bad as Donald Trump, which we have no proof for.
That's insane.
We were synced up there.
I was so proud of that.
My guy, dude. My guy.
That was what's up.
Shout out, dude.
That's the kind of chemistry we do here.
Oh, this is the Asmon Gold clip. Let me play the audio for this.
Video that was critical of Ethan and other content creators when they're talking about Israel and Palestine.
Dude, I can't wait for content deputy Jewish Jake Paul, bro. The follow-up is going to be crazy.
I think that Ian is running defense for this by saying and framing it in that way. When the title of the video is the YouTubers that backed it. Like, I'll show you the video. This is the one that Hassan wanted me to Hassan wanted to how much
it wasn't any specific video. Hassan wanted him to cover the Noah Samson
how many
video.
subs was he gonna gift me if I watched this video? The whole thing on stream, it was like a huge amount, right? He really wanted me to watch this. And the YouTubers who backed the genocide, 500 subs, yeah, there it was. And like to say that a YouTuber backs a genocide, this is a pretty heavy accusation, right?
By the way, in case you're wondering, remember the 500 subs quote that's off Ethan's soundboard? So the amount of subscribers in real world money that he was going to provide Asmon Gold is the amount of free subscribers that Phoenix Diva had on YouTube, just to be clear. So like no money subscribers. So that's a significant amount.
This is a really heavy accusation. This isn't being critical of how they are talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict. This is someone saying that not only are you talking about it, but you are actively promoting the ethnic cleansing of a group of people.
Okay, so yeah, that's the clip.
Ethan and I both talked about how people should vote for Kamala, and especially if you care about the Palestinian cause, because Trump is going to be way worse.
By the way.
And it's well known. He's friends with Bibi. They both are made of the same...
I ranted about the stupid fucking... Oh, God. The whole... they have to earn our vote bullshit. I think Mike from PA was like a big guy peddling this. You don't lose an election and then turn around the next day and go, the Democrats need to really earn our vote. It's like you're just ensuring Republican people win. But that's giving these people too much credit, implying that they have any fucking value in the political landscape. Then it's like the Destiny talking point of like, I don't care that this guy distributed his friends' naked videos without their consent. It's totally fine because he's a political streamer who's going to save the left. Yeah, okay, dude. Cool. I appreciate it.
Kind of, shitty behavior.
Yeah.
And that was also what I was trying to say about Gallant.
Of course. And so, again, he takes you nodding and removes it out of the context of you defending Gaza
for the movement.
Like I think it is fucking insane. Like
at his rally, Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Do we have that?
She didn't even respond immediately.
I'm not, and I'm still probably thinking.
He cut it
also,
together, so it looks like you immediately responded.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Okay.
I mean,
like Kamala,
the other one.
I could add it.
Both of his clips are.
Listen, there's a lot of things being said. You listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, and keep playing.
In this rally? Oh, that's epic.
Yeah, we gotta watch the Rudy part.
I really think.
And
it's
then there I
important
say
people.
I haven't seen this. This is like news to me.
You said I want to watch the Rudy part. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
So show me what's so bad. I don't understand.
No, this is part of what.
But this is why they beg these people who don't know anything about these conflicts. Because again, Hila's not the one who shows up on stream talking about this every single day. She went on it. But they try to get people like Asmongold to talk about it so that they have content to put out. That's the only reason. They don't care if you care about Gaza. They don't care if you care about Palestine. They're begging drama YouTubers to cover this so that these fucking poor bread tubers have something to make money on. Because if they don't bite the fucking... If they don't bite into your content strategy, they have nothing to talk about. It's financially lucrative for people to be bigoted online. It gives them shit to cover. They don't think that like, oh, when I demand that Nick DeOrio talks about fucking foreign conflict, third world country war or whatever, they're looking for me to make the wrong decision.
What is so bad here?
This snark phenomenon is truly mind-blowing stuff. They're in like a collective psychosis where they world build, and that's what it becomes. All right, let's move on. We got to make some ground here.
Okay. The other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean.
Like, this is a wet dream for people who want to cover politics stuff. Like, holy shit, I was going to have to watch, like, 16 hours of BBC footage, but thankfully some stupid YouTuber said wrong thing on stream because they're uninformed, so let's do 50 hours on why they're actually racist.
I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not going to run to your defense.
I just want to explain that one.
I have the context. I have this whole one is so stupid. The Gallant thing is like, it's like eye rolling at this point. It's like,
I want to explain it because people.
Okay, I was talking about this from the frame of oh my god, dude. I was talking about this like Hassan said it, not like an average Anissa Jomha OnlyFans supporter would say. All right, chill with the BBC stuff.
People bring it up non-stop. I apologize for it right away when Ethan made a video to address this on his.
Which, by the way, I think the craziest misconception I've seen about Anissa. She doesn't do any like, I think at the time she was doing like softcore, not even naked photos that people were getting mad about. But because iDubbbz's just kind of opened it up to everything, people thought she was doing like sex tapes at the time, which is so fucking, because she wasn't.
Klein channel?
I don't even think I don't think Anissa Jomha has ever done a sex tape. It would be a news story if it happened. I mean, people would, it would be like Adam 22's thing.
I
Next day,
made a quick appearance in that video just to say I'm sorry, I misspoke. I shouldn't have called him a really good guy. Like, I don't know.
Nobody pays for it, bro. Somebody pays for it, dude. I'm sorry. All of you fucking closeted coomers in the chat are just sitting here being like, I'm not gonna pay for that shit. Nobody's gonna pay for that shit, bro. If you're not paying, you're googling. I'm sorry. Somebody paid for it. Dude, how do all these OnlyFans women afford fucking Lamborghini Revueltos, dude? I don't believe you. Somebody's clicking on this shit.
I said it like that. The point I was just trying to make is that BB fired him because they were disagreeing.
Here, you don't need to paraphrase it.
I
Let's
feel
watch
like
it.
the reason I brought it up was mainly...
This is the next day.
That was a 20. I should read that one. The more I see Hassan and his ilk, the less I think it has to do with maintaining the facade of being a good person, and it's another cool kids club. Everybody hates fascism until they get to hold the baton. Dude, Twitch is literally high school. All these people are in adult high school, and you are along for the ride.
To express the frustration with BB and him firing the one guy that was somewhat, attempting at moderation. It wasn't really so much to say, Gallant is a good guy. I shouldn't have used that word. That was a bad choice on my part.
They don't play this. And every video I've seen covered, they just play her saying wrong thing, and they ignore the fact that she's done a full retraction and explained why she said what she said. And I pointed this out when I was watching it. It's just so fucking shameless to intentionally omit this. You could say it's still bad. You could make arguments about the initial statement or what it could cause, or like, oh, maybe they didn't see it. Or there's angles you could take with it, but they just omit it because they're bad faith.
Considering stuff that he has said that I was not even thinking of. Really coming from the concerning feeling of
it's out of context bullshit from the everything is out of context society. That was their defense for the entire content nuke. Everything Hassan Piker said in those clips is wildly out of context.
The goat. Thank you
so
for
then
the
they just
$5,
parade
my
through
man.
supporting the most out of context video I've seen in a while.
Trump in office, and BB just fired the guy that is opposing him. That's all I was trying to say, but I do understand that was not a good choice of words, and I would not have said that again. So
That sounds pretty sincere. I don't see any reason to hold that over your head forever as proof that you're genocidal IDF propagandist, which is what he's claiming.
stepping away for a little while.
Yeah, and then Hila's stepping away.
Because they're not interested in correcting the record. They're not interested in a human being giving a response. All right, they got the clip they wanted. That's all they needed. All right, it's bullshit.
Because the reaction was so cruel and over the top.
Yeah.
You stepped away for a while. But the main purpose of that comment was that, again, just fucking...
Like, they're not even demonstrating, like, even a hypocrisy.
for the 100th time. Gallant wanted to end the war. In the headlines at the time, he was in the headlines for opposing Netanyahu and wanting to end the war. That's what he was in the headlines for, and that's what we're referring to. We misspoke. It didn't sound good. We immediately corrected ourselves. You know, that's how mature people do. That's how you're supposed to handle yourself, isn't it? Like, what more do you want me to do?
I have no problem apologizing and admitting and whatever is needed when things happen.
Also, simultaneously, dude, it's so rich for Mr. I cry because my wife gets bullied online to target Hila in any capacity in this fucking video. All right, because then you have to own up for the fact that your wife says a lot of stupid shit, and the majority of people who are mad at her or making fun of her online are no longer doing it because she was selling lewd photos 5 years ago. It's that your wife is an insufferable bitch in every facet of everything she does. From creator clash to general stream comments from years ago to acting like a complete know-it-all on social media every time she's woefully misinformed. Like, once you start taking jabs at Hila, it opens the door for people to realistically critique your wife.
So, but his claim, so he goes back and his claim is important.
Anissa is very well familiar with the propaganda.
And there's some weird gaslight that Anissa is only hated by incel boys because she does OnlyFans. And then you read her Twitter for 5 seconds and immediately realize that there is some justification to the things people say about her.
And the shit coming out.
I'd love to chat with her about Israel-Palestine. No, I wouldn't actually. That would be a terrible experience.
That sounds like
that'd be
awful.
a terrible experience. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's not.
Out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not going to fucking defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at
So he's saying I'm not defending you because of these two things.
2 years old to kill Americans. Do we have that?
He cuts you nodding, which is totally like he cut out like a good few seconds there in between you considering things.
I mean, like just the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
The Gallant thing, which is just so bad faith. It's such a low blow. Like, bro, you know.
Way to edit me into like, look at this Israeli bitch.
Yeah, and the insinuation is that you can never fucking
the goat.
If we go after Hila for this, can we go after your wife for her Holocaust comments? Yeah, I posted that in my video. I showcased that. It's like, hey guys, like Anissa is kind of stupid. She fell for like the age-old fucking internet schizo theory that like the Holocaust had decent, like she said the Holocaust had good things because it advanced medicine, which is just like a completely fabricated Holocaust denial lie that for some reason normies latched onto for years, that like we wouldn't have the medical we wouldn't have like the medical advancements if they didn't just kill all those Jews.
You can never correct yourself. You're never allowed to correct
I think they pull it up on this stream, actually.
yourself. And Ian, that's kind of what your whole thing has become.
I saw that clip on social media yesterday, and I think the only reason I'd see it is if people were reminded it existed.
You know?
He looked mean. I thought he was mean.
And then he shows a headline, Israel warns can send Lebanon back to Stone Age. Gallant says, yeah, I mean, like we said, we were excited that he wanted to end the war. Is that a problem?
Just because he looked mean.
No. It's not.
So this, by the way, is his idea of joke and editing. Like, I don't know what's happening. The editing on this video is significantly worse than usual. His jokes are, like, there's one thing to be said about, like, silly, like...
I'm sorry, bro. You might agree with the abortion video, all right? I know my chat doesn't, but the video was edited the same way. The jokes aren't there. It's, I guess because he called it Content Cop, that came with the assumption that thered be more skits and jokes and goofs and gaffs, but it's very obviously not a Content Cop. He wears the outfit for 20 seconds.
Like low editing memes, like the I just learned Photoshop meme, you know, with the frog. Like, that's funny. But this is the substance of all of his, like, additive edits. And it's all just, like, PNGs he directly downloads or some shit.
What abortion video? He did, like, Content Cop abortion last month. We watched it earlier. It was just like, Ian's not funny anymore. He can't make funny content. This was the takeaway last time. This is... People say that, like, this is Content Cop. Bro, it's literally just the new... Where is it? Your Body, My Birth Vessel. It's the exact same video as when he did Content Cop abortion a couple months ago. Oh, crap. I just clicked on... I don't even know
We've never, ever seen a generation or a group of people so angry, so miserable, so...
Just to suggest what they're saying is horseshit.
It's the same format. It's the same video.
If you have found in your personal life that your husband going off to work...
There's actually there's more jokes in this video than there was in the new one.
Mock them for being ugly or unfuckable.
So apparently, there are a bunch of left-wing women who are now declaring a sex strike. I mean, I hate to break it
I mean, there's probably a huge percentage of the audience who didn't even know he made this.
to you ladies, but you might not have had a choice in the matter, depending on exactly who you are anyway.
The women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions. Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb.
I feel like this is important to highlight because I feel like it's very telling that there isn't much ammo left in the chamber when it comes to women's reproductive rights.
It's funny because this is every narrative against
There isn't much ammo left in the
You could just replace the word ugly with fat, and it's like every response ever.
chamber when it comes to women's reproductive rights. When Ben Shapiro
Like
is
from all of his friends
resorting to mocking women and saying that they're ugly, well, I mean, let's be real, he didn't say they're ugly. He just implied that they were ugly. He was basically calling them ugly in lawyer speak.
You might not have had a choice in the matter, depending on exactly...
It's the same shit. Like, this is more alike the Content Nuke or Content Cop H3 video than any of his older content. It's like Eminem, where Eminem can't do the voice anymore. Only it's iDubbbz with, like, the entire video making process. Like, Eminem's gotten old, his voice has changed. He can't do the old voice that we all used to hear on, like, the Eminem show or something. iDubbbz can't make videos, write scripts, be entertaining, be funny, have friends, engage positively on social media, have bravado or any sort of aura at all whatsoever. It's just like Eminem, dude.
I think someone else has been editing his videos, and this might be the first time he's been forced to edit his own video, and he's very bad at it. He's very bad at it. That has to be because it just doesn't make sense otherwise. Like...
So yes, you caught us. We're not going to run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people.
Yeah, and once again, what an insane characterization that I'm mad because you follow people. And he goes on about this.
We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So,
the problem.
Okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you, enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denim.
I know, yeah.
Which I'll show. Denim is actually participating in this whole.
Here he brings the employees again into it.
He says, "I want to play this whole part because I
forgot about this, bro. I completely forgot when I covered this the first time, dude. When Frogan was talking about how Ethan unfollowed her on day fucking 1 or whatever, Anissa was in the chat being like, "Girl, I'm sure they'll come around. They just don't understand." She was playing like the middleman for Frogan. Fuck, do we have... Is that in here? It literally just clicked that this happened. Don't drag me into it. Bitch, you jumped in heads first, bro. Where is that?
Half of their current and former employees follow Denims. It's almost like that's not the
H3 shows it. It just clicked, yeah.
problem. Service live.
Yeah,
which I'll
and if
show you
you're
guys
friends
in a
with
bit.
them, then you're saying what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally, the complaint was
right,
about...
the girl who accused me of leaving shit on the floor and that CPS should be called, right? Just to remind you, Ian, because I don't know if you know that.
About my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit. That's clearly...
Yeah, I'm sorry, like they were involved in day zero of this controversy. This is so weird.
Looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat...
Unlike, I guess you're looking out for me.
It, where we are friends with Denims, but I was...
Well, I find that reprehensible. Like, that's my problem. That's what I said.
Yeah, I did. This is what got me. It's like, wow, I can't believe he's requesting them to stand up and talk about this and all this shit. And like, wow, they're accusing him of being friends with Denims, and he's like, yeah, I am friends with Denims. It's like, oh, wait, what? So he was right? Oh, okay.
Well, we were
That's
saying.
what you confirmed. Again, the self-owning in this video is catastrophic. Yes, you're friends with Denim.
He's just trying to word this in a way that's, I guess, acceptable, but like, concede Ethan's argument.
Are these people in the crew friends with Denim to that extent where, let's see, here's Anissa in Frogan's chat defending her tweet.
Also,
about,
how can he... Hold on. Wait.
yes, you're friends with Denim. Are these people...
I'm not going to sugarcoat. Unlike, I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit. That's clearly looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat.
Unlike, I guess, sensible, like that for me.
Code it, where we are friends with Denim.
Time out. Bro, pause. I need to drop the ball. I need to look at this guy's fucking face for a second. We have to understand the power scaling. I'm going to sound like a Dragon Ball YouTuber right now, okay? So Denims and iDubbbz are friends, okay? People who, we don't know anything about the intricacies of their relationship, okay? But we know that they have reached the mark of friends. Give me a fucking, hold on. Whoa, time out. Give me this. Boom. We need to start drawing. I need to draw this out because I just had like a seizure in my mind, okay? Denims. Okay, here we go. Denims. All right. Ethan. He's the big E. All right. Ethan. Okay, undo that. Right? F, friendship. All right? A, acquaintance. Light acquaintance with a little L. L-A. Okay? And maybe it has something to do with like what's happening here. Okay? Ethan. All right? You see Ethan right here? Okay? This guy, Ethan, and this guy over here, all right? This guy had 10 plus years of interacting, met children, okay? Met his kids. See the little kids? All right? There's little kids, dude. There's a little kid, all right? You see him? Met kids, 10 years of content, all right? That means acquaintance, okay? Denims, you see Denims right here, all right? Apparently, Denims is a friend of iDubbbz. How? How is Denims your friend and iDubbbz is a light acquaintance? Like, what is happening? How does this work? This is like fucking Super Saiyan 4 being in Daima and Goku saying I could have done it all throughout Super. That's what this feels like. This is just like a plot hole. It's Denims being friends with Ethan is a plot hole. Because how could... There's tweets of your wife, W, okay, saying that you were friends. But this has been fucking removed, okay, from canon. Because then now, okay, canon, we've decanonized this. All right? Now they're back to light acquaintances again. How does it work? I don't understand. Okay.
Nicholas,
I don't understand.
the goat.
I don't understand.
Thank you for the $5, my man.
But
I find that reprehensible. Like, that's my problem. That's what I said.
That's exactly what we were saying.
That's what
How
you
can he
confirmed.
how can he be like, with his whole chest, I am friends with Denims? That implies that they were more friendly with Denims in current day than they ever were with Ethan Klein in history. And I simply do not believe that's true.
In this video is catastrophic. Yes, you're friends with Denim. Are these people in the crew friends with Denim to that extent where, let's see, here's Anissa in Frogan's chat defending her tweet about...
Frogan, though.
Sorry, hold on. Here's Anissa in her chat.
In the birthday roast, Ian said best friend. Okay, yeah, this is what I was trying to talk about. On day 0 of the conflicts, I think Ethan will realize what he's saying isn't the best in a week or so. It's fueled by pain. I really hope he talks about it calmly later. I think it will be better. Dude, this bitch is on stream fucking psychotically rambling because Ethan had unfollowed her on Twitter, causing 2 years of conflict. And now she's like, oh my God, I hope I don't lose my career over this, bitch. You have gained so much relevance, okay, by being the tumor on the site that started this feud. You have done so much for your career. You've become one of the most notable hated content creators. You've become infamous over this, all right? Bro, I think your career is fine if you have one.
Okay, defending her take that October 7th was like a justified act of resistance or whatever. It was just insane. I mean, we can show it for posterity. Maybe it's even here. But you guys know the tweet. It was something like, people want to phone. I don't remember. Yeah.
Who fucking who?
Did you send it? 5B, baby. We know what's up. We got numbers. We got letters. That's what it is. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So this is the tweet, by the way, that what's the saying? Set 1,000 ships to sail or something. Frogan, leftists preach and foam at the mouth at the thought of a revolution happening in America, but as soon as it happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong. Now, this is important to note that on October 7th at 2:30 a.m., me and Ela were in bed as the story was breaking, listening to Israeli families call into news stations begging for help and being burned alive in their safe rooms. This was as scenes of horror were unfolding as they were in kibbutz, civilian living quarters and civilian concerts, slaughtering, raping, murdering, mayheming civilians. So at the exact moment that that's happening and her take is this is fucking insane. It's actually insane. And so to see Anissa in the chat saying, I think you will realize what he's saying isn't the best in a week or so.
Dude, I think people are going to look back on this and they're going to be like, yeah, the writing was on the wall. They were going to snake them for years.
It's fueled by pain. I really hope he talks about it calmly later. I think it will be better. Now, again, it sounds nice, but she's talking about...
I've heard this is bullshit and Issa was actually defending Ethan. Well, that screenshot's not bullshit. That screenshot's not bullshit at all. Jumping in there and saying that was what we pulled up at the time. She injected herself into it. And you could say, okay, this is a defense of Ethan, but it's a gaslighty one. It's like, oh, he'll realize he was wrong, but maybe he'll talk about it when he's more calm. It's inserting some of this therapy language. I'm sorry. I don't know. Mrs. I don't want to get involved got involved pretty fucking quick. That's the main takeaway.
Hamas killing civilians. I'm not changing my mind on that one. And
he's
but I'm
too
glad,
emotional right now. Yeah, I'm sorry. If anybody says I'm too emotional at something, yeah, all right, whatever, buddy.
So when I see something like this, I'm like, oh God, I didn't know that it was like that.
She thought that Ethan would get in line and be a good little Jew and disavow Israel like Sam Cedar did before him.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5.
Ethan's just upset right now, man. Don't worry. He'll, in like 2 days or whatever, he'll disavow Israel like a good little Jew.
I didn't know that she was like, remember Milhouse, the guy who's like laughing and giggling, all giddily about the Israelis running for their life? We watched it on Wednesday. Here she is in his DMs. He accidentally leaked it. And guess who's there? Anissa. Yeah, this guy is probably, I mean, the most despicable of the bunch.
People keep saying Milhouse. Who is Milhouse? Nobody likes Milhouse? Is there... I'm not even seeing anybody on the screen with the name Milhouse.
Here is Anissa.
It's one of Frogan's co-hosts? I'm sorry, dude. Frogan is already too much. Like, let's be real here. Frogan's co-host. This is like who is Smaggle's moderator would be a better comparison. Anissa. But if there's anything you're unsure.
Something saying if there's anything you're unsure, I don't know what they're talking about, but here's Denims in his convo. Here's someone just talking about.
Who is Smaggle? Yeah, exactly.
Me. It's like you all are talking together. You're involved in this, and I know that. Like, let's not pretend like it's not fucking obvious. It's not because you're following them on Twitter. That's insanely stupid. It's like a baby brain take. What an idiot.
Either that, it's not baby brain. It's, I don't think they can prove this, so let's just lie.
Want to stay out of the drama?
That's just not true. I just don't think that.
How could they prove it? They don't have. None of us are going to leak, right?
Was a genuine statement. I think I closed it. Oh, no, I didn't. It's right here.
Would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Ela. It's like kind of
that's so fucking insultingly like they really rewriting their history of like we barely knew him. This is like Trump talking about Epstein.
The only thing Ethan did
except I'm not Epstein.
Points out is that I don't know if you want to read. I guess yeah.
Did Ethan just accidentally compare himself to Epstein?
This is like Trump talking about Epstein.
Ethan, button out.
The only thing Ethan did.
Except I'm not Epstein.
Why did you do that?
Points out is that I don't know if you want to read. I guess yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
That at least Millhouse did not endorse that you killed Shredder and the CPS stuff.
Which is all I wanted to hear from Ian,
right?
Ironically. Okay, I'm pausing too much.
Internet friendship, we think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation.
Asterix Israeli. Don't defend them.
How can you possibly think that they're both good people at their core?
Well, one's wrong. One did something wrong and despicable to the other one. It's not rocket science, dude.
People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know.
Unlike this video, which, reminder, fucking 3,000 views after 3 weeks, sir. Talk about snark brained a loser. Why are you in Hassan's fucking office doing the Fortnite dance? Was that not for clout? Was that not straight like offering yourself up to like the altar of the most obvious bait of all the—
Didn't he take a picture holding like some sword or whatever, indoctrinating himself as being like the next orbiter? I thought, like, obviously it's like satirical, but I don't know.
These fucking people who are frothing at the mouth about me on Twitter to come and support you. Please.
This has to be like one of the stupidest mistakes I've ever seen a YouTuber make.
Please, bro.
I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention.
Bro, you were so smug. She did CPS, remember that? Okay, good.
Right now, one's a little bit more fucking nasty to me than the other.
Oh, so it's personal. Okay. I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that. Clearly stated. Clearly stated, and he says he's friends with Denim. That was my problem.
Yeah. So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend.
Do you? Who, like, are you fucking 8? Like, who has friendships like that? I don't even believe him. I don't know why he's claiming that. I got a whole bunch of friends. They hate each other, but I got a what?
But there is someone.
Is he saying Andrew Tate is his friend?
Oh, Steiny. Who kind of fucks with both of them.
Yeah.
But separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking. You're either my best friend who's deep throating me to the base of my cock.
That was epic.
What?
That was epic joke. Remember iDubbbz? He's edgy and he says cool stuff, sexual stuff. Edgy stuff. Oh, that's the old iDubbbz. He's so funny and edgy. We love that imagery.
He also burps.
Yeah, now he's just safe edgy, dude. He's edgy, but like approved upon by Hassan Piker. Any language Hassan has used in the last 48 months is allowed.
He does burp in this video, which is like, oh, he did the thing, bro. Imagine me still doing Vape Nash. That's literally what he's doing. Like, holy shit, bro.
Vape Nash, y'all.
Holy shit.
Or you are Satan. You're the devil.
Oh, he said devil silly. He's back. He's so back. The last thing I said to Anissa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty.
It sounded totally reasonable, actually. I didn't think it sounded coercive and shitty at all. We had a frank
I'm
conversation.
never going to forget this. Coercive and shitty from the guy who's like, if he gets therapy, I might be his friend in the future. Like that's... This guy literally launched the video by being like, guys, if you get therapy,
Station was like, what? Like, this is totally unacceptable. Like, I don't understand how you guys can like associate with this person.
We're all creators.
It's a literal ultimatum. Yeah, they're like shadow boxing ultimatums.
And we all are online. So for us to ask you to say something publicly is not that
Let me
weird.
pull up my text with
It's
her.
not me asking like a childhood friend that's not on the internet. Like, hey, can you go say something publicly for me or we can't be friends? Like, it's a little different.
Let's see what this conversation with Anissa was like here. In fact, let me give you, here, I'm going to give this to one of you guys and you can see if there's anything interesting in here that's worth pulling. I haven't read it.
This is like Alice Hez giving Alex her phone colorized.
I just saw Keffel's tweet.
I don't think anyone deserves that level
So Dan's about to bash Ethan Scullen with a brick.
of cruelty or hate.
God, look at Ducky. He's so cuting right now.
We want to stay out of the drama.
He's like so comfortable looking. Yeah, so my conversation with Anissa was like, why are you friends with this person? They're despicable. Look what they did. And she's like, I am so sorry. That was so unfair and blah, blah, blah. And I says like, well, then like you should have no problem saying something like about it.
Wait, Chud said Ethan started the ultimatum. Who started it first? Who cares who started it first? If your talking point is you gave us an ultimatum and ultimatums are bad and shitty and you're shitty for giving them, and then you're like, anyways, if you go to therapy, I'll be your friend later. it's you not realizing that you wrote one into your script, which is very funny.
And she, after that, the conversation ended on that. And I was like, well, exactly.
Like, you're so wildly unintelligent that you don't realize the hypocrisy in your own speech.
What I thought.
Well, then you should have...
It is a point where it's like, there's sides. You're picking
Yeah.
a side. And I'm not going to sit around and pretend like I'm cool with you.
I won't be in your life until you get sober. Ultimatums aren't inherently bad. Okay, but like, it's funny that you bring up sobriety because they're acting like that's kind of what's happening here. That like Ethan and fucking Hila are like clout addicted.
Nicholas, the
like
goat.
Reddit addicted
$5,
fucking
my
rage feds or something. And it's just like, it's actually insane. Like, you need to go to therapy to fix your problem. How is the therapy going to make people not be friends with guys who are sending CPS to our house? Or, like, supporting people who send CPS to our house? How does therapy fix that for us? Oh, we could be more like you and Anissa? Dude, if you want people to go to therapy, you should stop being a beacon of a... All right. iDubbbz and Anissa should not position themselves as a therapy success story if they want people to take that as a serious option to fix their life situations. If you want people to consider therapy, do not associate therapy with whatever the fuck you're doing right now, because you are the absolute worst. Like, dude, no, I'm sorry. You're not helping anybody here.
She's a disgusting human being.
No problem.
And so are you.
I'm publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
Thank you for the compliment. I also see myself that way. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, you guys were already a shitty friend, so it was kind of like, it's kind of just saying what it was, you know?
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, oh, he doesn't work with us anymore. Yeah. But that was it. That's all.
Not defending us, by the way. Not disagreeing with anything he said.
What she said.
But then say that you don't
Okay. Do you have
agree.
anything else to say for your friends, though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick.
So thank you for pulling this, Ian. That's not Ian's editor. That's someone Ian hired before CC2 who did some editing but isn't working for Ian anymore and hasn't for a long time. Now, we read this and understood. It's like, okay, fine. But if you go to his website, it's all creator clash. And, oh, see, I think Dan sees something interesting there.
To clarify things in your Reddit is because your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host.
Let's see this hard-hitting screenshot.
Were you just going like super deep in the comments?
No idea who this person is. I don't follow iDubbbz or have Twitter, but like, is it well known this person's their editor? How could they think nobody would notice?
The guy, Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo.
Yeah, like, so therapy will
Mr.
make you ruin
Oreo.
your entire career and make you like Hassan.
Therapy will make you ruin your entire career and make you like Hassan Piker.
Do you know what? I'll tell you right now. This is what's playing in my head while I explain this to you. Hold on. This is what therapy feels like right now. Here. Oh my god, dude. This is it. Here. Where is this? Did you ever see the butt out skit in South Park? This is it.
Now, kids, we have a really fun motivational...
Pretend instead of don't do cigarettes, the main meaning takeaway from this is that, like, fucking, you should go to therapy to better your life.
...group today who are going to talk to you about the dangers of smoking, okay?
Now here come Ian and Anissa, ready to tell you all about it.
So please give a very big South Park Cows welcome to Butt Out.
Nicholas!
Yeah, give that cigarette butt a throw. But smoke it's got to go.
Oh no. Okay, so this is us watching iDubbbz and Anissa, and then at the end, it's like...
Zima, is that cool? And what
if that's
evil tobacco companies tell you?
just like us.
There it is, this is it.
Yeah, because if you don't smoke, you can grow up to be
just like us.
Here, give me another one.
I'm sorry, this is like, this is all I can think about when these guys are fucking grandstanding and demanding people like with an ultimatum go to therapy. This is literally the perfect example to demonstrate why I hate these people so much. Holy shit, dude.
Yes, he's on a podcast. So this, okay. This person is wrong, and this was not a popular opinion. I knew this was not true, and other people knew. There's someone on his podcast that is not the person they're talking about. And so that never really percolated to the point. And again, he's showing as evidence 2 likes, 0 likes.
0 likes. Clearly people disagreed with the comment.
He has arrows pointing to these hard-hitting evidence here. 2 likes, 0 likes. Bro, that's not hard-hitting.
And again, part of this video is like, you shouldn't just take random shit that people are trying to freak you out about on Reddit. And then it's like, he's posting whatever.
Also, the Reddit post says the name Froggy Tonic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, we're talking about the right person. So what does it matter what people said?
A few people were confused.
Oh my god.
Oh, iDubbbz's. Doesn't it really suck when a few people are like believing some insanely bad faith narrative about someone close to you? Oh, I feel so bad that they thought Dane, this guy with 0 upvotes, thought Dane was the editor who was tweeting those things. So anyways, did you hear that CPS was called on Ethan's family and interviewed his children?
Froggy!
Yeah, I know this whole thing with Dan is weird, but like, or Dane, sorry, Dane Cook. But did you know they were going to go to the school to interview his children and then they didn't?
But also, like, totally understandable. Okay, I'll continue.
That it was our co-host on our podcast, Uncle Dane. So yeah, the last thing we wanted is this guy getting pulled into this mess.
Which you're doing right now, by the way.
Which I think that more people,
Shout out Uncle Dane.
more people connected this Dane guy through the Content Cop than probably anybody had even considered him prior.
Dane.
Talking about Dane.
I wonder what Dane's tweeted about me. Now let's look.
Oh god.
I'd love to know.
How is your mental health doing?
Nicholas, the goat. I appreciate that.
How is your mental health doing, Nick?
Fantastic.
Just curious.
The cascading YouTube drama that comes one after another, every single story, has been great for like 1.5 years. Holy shit.
Nicholas, the goat.
The drama
Thank you for the
hangover is going to be
$5, my
insane
man.
when this finally stops.
And you guys don't give a fuck. Would it have been nicer and more supportive to say, we don't agree with the things he's saying and we support Ethan and Hila? Sure. Like...
Oh wow, thank you! Oh my god, do I do that or do I do a Content Cup? What is
They're
that?
not required to say that, but I'm allowed to judge them for doing all of this. You know, we could have just said, like, hey, calling CPS is bad. And I understand. Okay, so this was something that I was watching Chud, that Chud's audience was fighting about. It's like, well, Nick, you have to understand that nothing good would come from the fact that iDubbbz said that, like, Ethan's a good dad, right? Because the people had already made up their mind. They're doing this over bad empanada, blah, 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 right? A tweet from iDubbbz is meaningless because A, the action has already happened, and B, who cares if iDubbbz condemns it? And I think that's fair to a degree, but you also have to think of the context that was prevalent at the time, right? You had Hassan Piker downplaying it on stream. You had Denims saying specifically, or trying to paint a narrative that this was actually an Ethan Klein fan who must have been concerned at the well-being of Ethan's children. Like, it must not have been a snarker. It was probably someone who was altruistic, putting in a legitimate call out of fear that Ethan's kids were sick, right? If you remember, if you're not like hindsight raped on this topic and you can engage with what was happening at that point, there was like an attempt to try to justify this as well. So it's like, yeah, there's nothing good coming from this saying that like, oh, he can't tell people to stop doing this, but it would go up against the narrative that what's being said here, or what actually had happened was bad faith. It was a snarker. It was a false CPS call. It originated from a bad empanada video. It solidifies that narrative. It showcases your go, yeah, okay, this is obviously like a bad faith phone call. These guys are good parents, right? It doesn't allow these people to try to skate around what they'd already done by supporting bad empanada, by watching this video uncritically.
Keffel's tweet on Nicholas.
There is inherent value to them saying this stuff.
I don't know.
I'm so glad we got to the bottom of this, you guys. I thought we were going to do a long episode. I thought we were...
They kinda help hide that he's been around them forever when they deleted everything.
I knew Dane because he's a Team Fortress 2 YouTuber. I did hear about that. I instantly recognized him Content Cop Keem's song. I thought they kind of hid him because yeah. I don't know.
Going to be here all night. It looks like he finally understands.
We will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
It's a rainy day out there in Los Angeles.
Mics are out.
All right, actually, well, let me see what he says afterwards. Then we'll end it.
Yeah, that would have been a nicer thing to say. Our silence means something.
No shit.
And this is like the most crazy thing. It's like, dude, you're supposed like this is some. Did Anissa write this part of the script? I'm usually not the guy to say that, but that's such a. How do I word this in a way that the chat won't get mad at me?
Keffel's tweet on Nicholas DeOrio.
Are you like dating iDubbbz here? Is iDubbbz your girlfriend? Is Anissa your girlfriend? It's like a, you know how women just kind of assume that everybody knows everything in every situation. Like, oh, you should have known my silence means something. Is definitely some like toxic relationship argument. Oh, when I didn't say that, you should have known this is what I actually meant. I'm sorry, like, are all these people in a relationship right now? Because that's just, like, a little ridiculous, no?
That was my point.
It's almost like we were exactly right in the way we interpreted your silence.
This is like, you cheated on me in my dream really levels of, like, why? Unserious, right? You should be... You cheated when I was sleeping last night in my dreams.
That's why we were upset.
Yeah, this is the worst polycule.
Your silence means something. That's what we felt. That's what we acknowledged. That's what we saw. And you just.
I think you're spending too much time with Denims because like this self-owning. I don't think
Denims is his friend. You can say that now. He's confirmed it.
It doesn't look good on you.
To do that before.
No, this.
You self-own yourself already. Like
you know what I was thinking as I watched this video? But I was like, you know, as much as I hate Noah Samson and his video and his outrageously defamatory claims, that aside, his video was much better. Like I think of all the Ethan hate videos that have come out in the past 2 years, this is probably the worst one, ironically.
Yeah.
Mika's rhetoric.
I still think no. You say Mika's rhetoric. I still think it's King of Nothing.
It's reminiscent of Mika's rhetoric.
It's in the same ballpark.
The same category, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Hi everyone.
But at least Mika is like, I'm just a silly girl. I don't know anything. Like she's not.
I'm an attempted teacher. Mika's rhetoric, but don't talk about it.
Presuming an air of authority or like noteworthy.
Fair enough. Fair
enough.
She's not an OG YouTuber that has a history with us.
Right.
I've also vouched for Jewish people.
Oh, she said that.
That was Mika.
That was Mika.
He won me over in that moment. She's not that bad. She vouched for Jewish people.
Hi everyone, it's me again.
I don't even think Ian or Anissa could say that. I mean, I don't even think they could say that.
No.
You know, funny. You don't agree with us because we're Israeli.
So can I give you back your phone?
Did you see anything interesting or no?
I mean, you could. I'm sure people would be interested. Everybody's always, ooh, you're leaking DMs or whatever.
Is there anything that's like worth sharing?
Well, I think it's funny that you describe that guy as the guy that looks like Milhouse to her while having us in the middle of a serious conversation.
I don't know his name. I genuinely, I don't know his name. What did I say? Give the context.
Where did it go?
I genuinely, I didn't know what his name was. That's how we refer to him. I guess I could say the guy who was giggling with glee at Israeli civilians running.
You were saying it's a very malicious, hateful, alienating, terrible, everything, etc. But Frogan, Denims, and that dude that looks.
Why is Dan wearing a wig again? Dude, Dan is always caught in a wig during like the biggest controversy.
Like Milhouse that lived in Lebanon. They're despicable and they're participants. That was the.
Yeah, I'm speaking pretty plainly to my friend.
Yeah, you said you probably saw Milhouse accidentally show DMs and you were in them. If you want, I can show you, but the man is evil, and anyone that associates with him, I can't really be friends with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when I saw her in his DMs, I was like, this is
you offered to explain why.
This is getting to be too much. And so I actually reached out to them directly to express myself like, hey guys, this makes me really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ian's like, dude, don't you get it? How can you assume all this stuff? But our silence means something.
Yeah! Oh my god.
Nicholas,
wait, I didn't even think of it like
goat.
that.
Thank you for the
It's just like, dude, you're assuming this, you're assuming that, you're assuming this, but why didn't you do our unspoken, why didn't you understand my unspoken comment to you? Oh my god. It's so fucking ridiculous. This is literally you cheated on me in my dream personified.
His brain cells are at war.
Yeah.
He's losing them as we watch. They're fighting. We need our brain cells aligned. They're at war. Anything else?
I can't. I don't want to be the judge of that. I thought that line is funny. I'm not going to decide what DMs.
I think it's enough context. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, give me that. It's not like we have.
If it's not, let's not, because we have so much to get through.
Yeah. Okay. I'll look through it.
Nicholas, the goat. I appreciate that.
Still not really over the fact that iDubbbz made a nostalgia bait content copy intro just to turn the video into an IPOS level breadtuber slop piece.
Yeah, I kind of see the IPOS thing. You know what frustrates me? I think that a lot of this is getting internet, like, terminally online pushed. if you're hanging out with somebody and somebody gets like, and somebody comes up and just slanders them or says something fucked up to them in their face or whatever, wouldn't you want your friend to say something too? I don't know. I understand from a basic human level why they wanted them to talk about the Froggy Tonic stuff. I just do. I don't know. I just fundamentally disagree with the people who say that it's like it's unreasonable for them to request this stuff, especially in the mind state that they're in there with the stuff that's happening to them at that exact moment. And like the severity of the stuff that's been written
I
there.
just saw Keffel's tweet.
Like if you have an
Nicholas DeOrio.
I don't know.
Appreciated the shout out.
If it was me in that position, I would feel like I would have to say something.
And see maybe if it's interesting.
I don't think it's required. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if you don't. But like, I certainly understand why they're asking.
Nicholas.
Oh, so I'll read this last part when he says, "I gave this horrible ultimatum to them."
Okay.
Let's see. Leading up to that. I linked her a Froggy Tonic post. So this is just an example. He said, I'm quite convinced Eli has a lot of editorial control over Ethan's opinion on Israel and thus repeats things on the podcast. He said so himself, being nothing before her. He said she translates his Israeli news. We have seen her redirecting her opinions his opinions of it live on air.
And simultaneously, you don't have to defend somebody you don't agree with. That's not the argument. But like, maybe at least have the decency to say that part out loud and not leave that to like, I cheated on you in my dream. How did you not know? Like, just say that you agree with Hassan's position and that like you think that Ethan has been unreasonable. That's also, I guess, a more fair assertion. It's just like tell them the truth and not play mind games about it.
Now, what I thought was interesting is that this is verbatim the same things that people accuse her of doing to Ian.
Yeah.
So I thought she would at least be understanding and sympathetic to that. To that he's actually literally being like, actually, Hila's a Lady Macbeth and she's manipulating Ethan. Does that sound familiar, Anissa? I said, I'm sure you can understand being friendly with someone that's going to be a problem for us. Again, my door's always open to you guys as longtime dear friends, I said. She said, no, we aren't friends. I don't talk with him regularly. I don't pay attention to his tweets. I just saw him posting a screenshot I wanted to use for promo and let him know I was yoinking it. I didn't.
Also, Ian didn't tell him to put the friendship on pause. Yeah, that was another thing. It's like, you should have known I wanted to put the friendship on pause. What do you mean, the acquaintanceship? We're pausing our acquaintanceship, no collabs for a little while?
Realize he was still on a tirade until I saw a Reddit post on Ian's channel. Now, that's actually a lie, as Ian explains that it's on his feed.
We've decided that we'll be putting this friendship on pause. We won't let Ethan interview us about our Creator Clash 3 event. Sorry, guys. Because of the situation and the ongoing conflict in Gaza, we will not use Ethan's podcast to promote our event anymore.
And he sees it. Truthfully, we aren't very tapped into what's happening past worrying about Creator Clash. That's a lie. You're literally in the DMs of all these people.
Yeah.
We know vaguely when, and clearly you are following it based on this video alone.
Yeah.
Liars. We know vaguely when people are fighting online.
And we constantly point this out, and I'm not doing this to be mean to Lena or say anything mean about Lena, but Lena is like objectively Lena of the H3 podcast. That's the like H3 podcast footprint is Lena on the Creator Clash roster. That's why she's fighting here and not another like influencer with a large audience or whatever. That like would be equally as viable for this role, right? So they're obviously still okay with profiting off of the H3 podcast because they've allowed Lena to fight in this card. It's just I don't know. They're just pausing their friendship and accepting their reward. That's weird.
Because we have to, for promotion's sake. But beyond that, we don't have much time to keep up with details, especially people's Twitters who aren't actual influencers themselves. Ooh, this to her friend. So reading that, she was pretty flippant. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, and so my response was, well, in that case, you should have no problem publicly denouncing the horrible shit that he said about Hila and myself. Then hopefully, right? Yeah. Praying hands, right?
And I shouldn't say profiting. It's for charity, and comedians, and free hotel rooms, and a YouTube Hero Gasm mixer event with multiple galas in the Tampa Bay Lightning Stadium. Sorry, I just gotta be a little. Oh, and the $10,000 per fight purse. Okay, and the fight of the night bonus if they get one. So yeah, it's for charity.
I was like, okay, well then it shouldn't be a big deal. That's it. That's it.
Oh
anyway.
My God.
It means that we would like to pause this relationship until you figure your shit out. And then maybe we can find a moment in time. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Creator Clash is a clout orgy first and a charity event second. They proved that last time. That's like that's the main takeaway you should understand when Creator Clash 3 comes. It is a clout orgy first, and it is a charity event second.
How long it'll be, but a moment in time in the future where
Don't hold your breath.
things are a little bit easier to broach.
Do you think that do you think that your friendship is that much of a prize? That I'm like, I need to go to therapy and I need to I need to think
It's a charity event for tax purposes only. I'm kidding.
the right way. I need to fit in and I need to think the right way so that I can finally be friends with Ian and Anissa, who, by the way, judge me for being Israeli just for being born there, who secretly judge me and hate me and flirt with all of these people.
Having expectations for your friends is cringe. I don't know, dude. I just feel like we're so mind-fucked by how awful everybody is to their friends online that we can't just, I don't know, we can't empathize with somebody who wants a legitimate relationship with these people. And to be treated as like a human being by them. A human being who is told explicitly where they're standing on this issue.
People that fucking do unforgivable, despicable acts. God, I wish I could be their friend again. It's
like,
just
YouTubers are friends, but with like huge financial burdens on being incorrect about things. So I understand there's like a different standard here. And I've also been fucking guilty of being a bad one on occasion to certain people, right? But like, I don't know. Are we just so mind raped by like terrible fucking people that we can't on a human level understand why they'd want their friends to be like friends?
Crushing me.
I don't think we need to do it right.
Friends of 10 years to act like it and not get on a video and do a huge collaborative piece with the people who literally promote the guy who sent CPS to their house and completely like, I don't know. I feel like Ian's actions, any doubts you might have had
Nicholas,
for their pressure,
the GOAT. I appreciate that.
I think any doubts
Having
you might.
expectations for any relationship is right and good. Otherwise, there is no relationship and no trust can be established.
Maybe I'd feel differently if iDubbbz wasn't like a total snake fuck, and we already know that. Maybe I'm getting hindsight cucked a little bit here, because I already know that he invited all these people to like his house and Fortnite danced into Hassan's house and did a Fortnite dance with them for the beginning of the video. That might be skewing my reasoning for this. I could accept that. Maybe that's my bias, is knowing that all of Ethan's guesses were absolutely correct about Ian and Anissa, even though they didn't really come from a place, I guess, of I don't know, he didn't show his work, but he arrived at the right answer. Maybe I'm hindsight cucked on it.
Nicholas, the GOAT. Thank you for the $5.
But like seeing Ian be a piece of shit and hide the fact that like this CPS thing happened, or I guess not include it to explain the clips and put everything out of context and work with horrible people. I maybe that's affecting this.
Now, but you've insisted that this is an important thing to address.
Yeah, it was important to me, which it wasn't to you, and that's what happened.
I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me on your Instagram story.
I would have been perfectly fine with you not being a shitty friend. He's talking silly again. He's back.
Sorry. I would have been perfectly fine with you not blasting me and my wife on your podcast.
Was that a problem? You fucking spineless hack Howard loser?
This is fair.
Well, I don't think you're going to like this podcast very much then. Hit the laugh track. I don't think you're going to like this podcast very much then, sir.
Dude, he's so bad.
You
Let's
spineless,
go.
degenerate loser. You are not even a shadow of your former self. You're dead. That's the thing. You're not even there's no shadow because you don't exist anymore.
You're skinwalking your
former zombie
self,
came out of the earth and like okay, it's an extended metaphor.
That'll be undead.
Yeah, it's an undead metaphor. It's gone too much. It's gone too much.
Dude, the demon that took Bo Blacks and Tipster is wearing iDubbbz's face, making content cop.
Undead.
Thank you. Not undead. So I'm taking it back.
This goes crazy.
Well, the second time I've had to correct you.
I apologize. I apologize. I'll speak more clearly. Thank you for correcting me. Undead is a zombie? Or zombie and undead? Is that the same thing?
We want to stay out of the
they're
drama.
not the same thing, but yes, a zombie is undead, yes.
Okay, I said zombie. Splitting hairs?
Zombie.
You said he was dead.
Okay, let's move on. I'm being silly. Let's move on. We're being silly, guys. You don't need to clip this, guys. You don't need to clip this as proof that I'm a tyrant boss. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I not say that silly enough?
Yes, the Keemstar Show.
Ooh,
that was the most overplayed sound effect in the history of YouTube, dude.
Sorry? Am I not silly enough for you? right?
Please stop it.
I'm sorry, but the guy knows comedy.
Podcast twice. I would be fine with you not brigading my comment section on my podcast.
I didn't brigade your fucking comment section, you dumb loser bitch.
Dude, it's brigading just to cover somebody talking about me now. That's brigading by definition is watching a clip titled "Addressing Ethan Klein." That's so crazy.
Like if our fans end up over there. By the way, your fans are our fans. A lot of our fans liked your appearances on our show, and Nisa famously said, "I love going on your subreddit because there's the only place on the internet they're nice to me." These are
well, no, because all those fans left. These are Hassan's fans now.
People that you courted to come watch your fucking podcast, and guess what? Now you pissed them off. Deal with it, dumb bitch. How's it my turn? How's it my fault? You should be thanking me for even putting your dumbass on my fucking podcast when the whole world hated you and I didn't mind sticking my neck out for you. Oh, is that transactional? No, I expect some fucking...
You just know that when Ethan said dumb bitch, he was picturing denims. Thinking of you, denims!
Can you not have any expectations for your friends? Like, is that crazy?
The way he ripped the B, you just had to know that was about denims.
It's 3,000 views a week because I prefer to not to do harassment campaigns and instead talk about Vampire's Kiss.
Ah, that's why no one watches.
And again, this is coming from iDubbbz's, who's I think you can kind of come to the conclusion after what we've seen, is probably lying about the nature of his friendship with Ethan and probably downplaying it a little bit. Again, I don't know. I wasn't with them. I didn't see behind the scenes. I only know what they put in their videos and write on their Twitters. But it seems like also he's kind of downplaying how close he was. Now, that might be for guilt. That might be to make his narrative look a little bit better. I don't know why he's doing that, but it's definitely something to consider.
Very good. Very good.
Again, I've been the unfortunate victim of the chatter thinks I'm more friendly with someone than I actually am clause. So I'm sympathetic to that. I could be wrong. I don't think I am.
At least say...
Yo! Button moment!
Next Tuesday word.
Oh, yeah.
About this aggression.
I said the see you next Tuesday word.
Oh, yeah. Don't say that.
I had to bail. I said...
Dude, this guy got in trouble for saying bitch and just dropped the Australian greeting. That's crazy.
You snuck that one in. I didn't even hear it.
I just want to be clear about what was cut, because last time people go, what was cut?
Dude, he hit the button. That's when he started saying the N-word 400 times in a row. Of course it
was cut.
It was under the radar C word.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was.
I don't want to be...
5.7K live. Thank you so much for being here. That just proves the 6K last time was real. We got botted in the beginning, so... Well, I actually don't know. I thought we got botted in the beginning, but I also know Ethan ended his show around that time. And I don't think he rated in, but it's possible some people ended up here directly after that. So we might not have even have been botted. It might have been legitimate, but it might have just been because Ethan ended his stream.
I play it safe here. I don't want to get this whole...
Because we did hit like 12, 13K that day.
Video...
I think it was overflow. I think that's what happened, yeah.
Yoinked because I said the C word once. But, I mean, he is a C word. You know? Exactly.
That you're putting out...
So let me go back, because I buttoned out this part. She actually...
She thinks they have a point.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so go...
I literally, dude... Oh my god, wait, that's actually so much worse. I literally became an Ethan Klein waiting room. Holy shit, dude, I was Nick from Long Island. Oh god, that's terrifying. Don't do that again. I need to make sure I don't ever do that again. Holy fuck, dude.
Fuck yourself.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself. What about your girl? This is what
about your girl?
I'm talking about. This aggression that you're putting out into the world.
No, I like botted better. I was botted, for the record, okay? Botted. That's what happened. Those were bots. Not real people, bots.
Unlike what... Yeah,
what are you doing?
You're the pacifist, right? You're the supposed pacifist. I'm glad I could bring this out of you, buddy. I mean, it's really something no one else could do, apparently.
Fuck do you think we're gonna do? You think I'm gonna fucking sit on my hands when you do this shit?
Probably would have been wiser than this. You know? Yes, you could have done that.
It was real. Wake up, Nick. Wake up, Nick. You've become an Ethan Klein orbiter, Nick.
Buddhist. You were the pacifist. You were like the enlightened, bro. You ascended.
Like, this is nasty. We had such a fair response to it.
Why are you wearing a gold tooth? Like, is that like the little X factor about this video? Is like, I've got a gold tooth.
Do you want some fucking tea?
How is he gonna talk about me being nasty and not explain what happened that morning?
You can't, because then it's... Well, Elo, if you don't understand, all right? If he explains what happened that morning, then the clip's not as good. Does that make sense? Are you following now?
a virgin?
No, I am not. Why would so many people be Googling that?
We weren't that close. Let me sexually assault the gift plushie he gave me for the intro for my content cop.
Yeah, that's another one. We're just kind of acquaintances. Also, let me fuck this fucking plushie toy you gave me. That's so funny.
Despicable.
I told you, I can't get over that point.
Yeah, just it's
Dude,
important.
we're just like one of a kind plushie Teddy Fresh friends, you know? We're not close, but like we are one of a kind plushie close.
Bear in mind that all these clips is the morning CPS was called. So pretty despicable business there.